Peace and love, family. Peace and love.
Yes, yes. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday. Welcome to Candid Conversation.
Yes. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Absolutely.
Good,
Great.
good.
Doing great. Doing great.
Yeah, we have a great show for y'all today.
I'm ready to unpack.
And listen, we missed y'all. We know y'all missed us too.
Yes.
But we're back. Candid Conversation. I am one half of the dynamic duo, King George, a.k.a. Mr. Knowledge is Power, but only if it's applied.
Uh-oh.
And if y'all don't know who this is my one and only, the beautiful, my queen, the intelligent.
Thank you, Dr. Natalie, Nicole. Every time I get caught up.
It's all right.
How y'all doing? Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday. Welcome. We got a lot to unpack today. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. It's been a beautiful day.
Yeah.
We started our day off celebrating Dr. Armstrong.
Dr. Armstrong. Shout out to Dr. Armstrong.
Yes.
Doing great things in Columbus.
Affirmed to be a associate pastor for his church today. So it was a great celebration, and congratulations on the elevation.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How about the music?
He's an absolute great leader.
He is.
So yeah, I'm super excited for what he's going to do and continue to do, because they said he's been there for over 36 years.
Right.
In the ministry. So absolutely amazing. He's an amazing person inside the house and outside the house. And of course, we can't say that about everybody.
Well, it is what it is. But yeah, shout out to Dr. Armstrong. So we got a lot to unpack today. So buckle up, sit back, relax, but be engaged.
We got some questions for you today. We got some questions for you today. We want your feedback. We surely do.
We sure do.
And we see the people in the comments. How you doing, Dr. Purnell? How are you? Happy Sunday,
Dr.
beautiful.
Dr. Purnell, welcome.
Yes,
welcome.
Yes. And Hughley, how are you doing, Miss Hughley?
How you doing? Welcome.
All right.
Yeah.
You ready?
Before we get started, I'm going to get into our quote of the day. And the quote simply says, "Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do."
Ooh, I love it. One more time.
Yeah, one more time.
Yes.
Successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's Jim Rohn. If you're not familiar with him, please look up on Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn. Okay. I like that. And that's the truth. That's the difference. That's the difference.
That is
all
the
right.
difference. Yeah.
So this is Candid Conversation, right? Where we talk about topics that are unpopular, but
important.
Very much important to our community, right? And lately in our conversation, I'm saying the elephant in the room, the things that people know, will talk about behind the scenes, but will not talk about publicly. So we're going to chop some things up today.
Yeah.
Yes. And we're going to agree to disagree, right? We are okay to have difference of opinions.
Yeah.
We want to hear what you have to say. It's just like in class when they say there's no wrong answers, right?
Right.
No dumb questions, things of that nature. We're here to learn, iron sharpen iron, and then just encourage critical thinking and thinking outside the box as opposed to groupthink.
Yeah, so please leave your comments in the comment section. That helps us grow. That helps us keep an open dialogue. And like you said, iron sharpens iron.
Yes, you're always sharpening my iron, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. If it's effective. Is it effective? I try.
It is effective, honey. It's effective. I listen and I apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So so let's jump into today's show.
Yes.
So the 2026.
Hey, it's election season, folks. It's election season, and everybody has qualified.
Yes, that are going to qualify.
Yes, there's nobody else that can come in. You can withdraw.
Yeah.
But you can't
jump qualify at this point.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
All right.
Yep. So let's see where we want to start. Let's start with the candidates that are in the race, that have qualified.
Well, you wanted to go over the dates first, I thought. So for your primary nonpartisan election dates.
Yeah, so we can start there.
Yeah, your voter registration deadline.
Yes.
It's April
20th, 2026. So please make sure you are making sure that you're registered to vote. Your family, your friends are registered to vote. Your addresses are correct. Everything is correct. April 20th, is the date.
And what do you say to people who are apathetic about voting, that it does not apply to us? We haven't seen any change. We don't care about voting. April 20th is the deadline to register.
Right.
Local elections matter. And then we also have an election in November. So what do you say to those people?
So, definitely do your research. And you have to think about not only the people who came before you, but you got to think about your grandchildren, your kids in the future. Whether you vote or not, what's being passed, these ordinances, they're going to be passed with or without you. So you might as well be a part of the process and make your voice heard, because your voice does matter. So that's what I would say.
Right.
Your voice does matter,
it definitely
whether
matters.
you believe it or not, especially at the local level.
Right.
Where the impact is felt daily.
Yes, and when you don't vote and then we get someone in-house for 4 years, and then there's no need to complain. There's no need to be frustrated because one vote, as I heard you say yesterday during the forum, makes a difference of who wins and who sits in a seat. So everybody's voice is important. So that voter registration deadline is April 20th, and how much is that? We got about a little over 30 days to make sure you get registered to vote.
Yeah, and let me say this real quick, just to go back to what we talked about as far as being apathetic to voting or being registered to vote. People have literally fought and died for the right, just to exercise the right. So if nothing else, you know what I mean, think about that part. People have given their lives, made the ultimate sacrifice so that future generations like us and our future generations could have the opportunity to make their voices heard, versus at one time you didn't have the right. You didn't have the voice.
Vote.
You didn't have the right.
And then when you were given the right to vote, you had to jump through hoops. Polls, have to pay taxes, what have you, answer questions.
Right.
And today we can freely, I would say the federal government is, with this SAVE Act, they're trying to make us pay some type of poll, because if your birth certificate doesn't look like, your ID right now, you're going to have to pay to get a passport or something like that. And so that's another form of making us jump through hoops to be able to vote. And I don't want to go out on a tangent, but it's so important that, they thought enough of us. Most of them are not here today that sacrificed for us to vote.
Right.
That we should think enough of our future to make sure that they have the right to vote and that they have a voice. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Advanced voting. Ooh.
Right. Advanced voting, April 27th, 2026.
And that's what I recommend. I'm a fan of advanced voting. I like to get in on Macon Road, get my vote in. Yes, early voting. Get my vote in and carry on about my day and know that my vote has been secured. You don't want to wait until the last minute.
Not at all.
And something happened, a provisional, you have to do this or that. You do not want to wait in a long line. You don't want to wait and it be the last day and there's issues.
Right.
Early voting is where it's at. Make sure your vote is counted.
Right.
And most times when you go in for early voting, you're in and you're out. There's no long line or anything like that. So you want to make sure you take advantage of that. It ends on May 15th. So they give you not 30 days, but they give you a good amount of time to make sure that you can get your early advanced voting in.
Right.
Now, absentee ballots, that's already available.
Right.
So to our disabled, to our elderly who don't necessarily get out that much, you can send in your absentee ballot, and that is already started as of March 2nd. And then the last day for that is, what you got, May 8th?
May 8th. Yeah,
May 8th. Right. So take advantage of this information for your family members, your disabled family members, your elderly family members who like to go ahead and do a absentee ballot and get it taken care of. Now, in thinking about the absentee ballot, I thought about Mr. Turner.
Okay.
Right? And how he was absent. He was in California serving our country, and his vote was challenged.
Right.
So we want to make sure that you are checking daily that you are a registered active voter. All of your information is correct so that you don't fall into that, challenge of having your vote suppressed or challenged.
Right.
because I believe this election season is going to get real.
It's been real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been real. and yeah, so make sure you're doing your job.
Yeah.
That way you don't have any issues.
Yeah. Make sure.
Don't make it easy on them.
Right. And so, do we want to talk about runoff, or we just want to make sure they have the understanding of what's going on right now?
Yeah, we can just, leave it there as far as the understanding, and we can get to the runoff
later.
Right.
Yeah, because, listen, I am encouraging people to give it 100% right now. Mm-hmm. If I had my way, we wouldn't have a runoff. It'd be, it'd be done, over with.
Well, I think
with victory, clear victory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. So we talked about election dates. Please make sure you're following the Muskogee County Registration and Elections board page. They have the most up-to-date information regarding dates or any changes that may be going on. Also, you can check out their website as well and learn more about candidates through their disclosures and things of that nature. So what we're going to get into next, honey?
Well, so we can jump into who's left standing.
Oh.
in this race.
Okay.
Mayoral and city council.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick though, while you are getting that information for that, advanced voting, right? It starts on the 27th. It ends on May 15th. It's 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And there's 3 areas so far that we have for early voting precincts. You have City Services Center, which is on 311 Citizens Way off of Macon Road. You have the Northside Rec Center, which is off 2010 American Way, and that's further down Veterans on the north side. And then you have Shirley Winston Rec Center, which is off of Steam Mill Road. So those are your 3 early voting precincts, right? Your ballot collection drop box locations are for advanced voting only. Closes at 7 p.m. on May 15th. So make sure you get that stuff taken care of. And if you need help or questions, again, please reach out to those people at the Muskogee County Elections and Registration Board office, or, people in your community that's well informed. Okay?
Right.
All right. You ready, honey?
I am ready.
All right. So listen. People were gathered at the Citizen Center in the Chamber area where we do our city council meetings.
Right.
That's where they held the office for people to come in and qualify for all of the districts, mayoral, the districts, and the school board. And it's interesting because people were sitting in there hanging out, right? Checking people out, seeing who's coming in.
And rightfully so.
Right. And so I didn't know that was a thing.
Listen, folks want to know.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Folks want to know who is who, and they want to put a face with a name. So,
it makes sense, right? Because I was there on the last day because we were alerted that there was going to be a new person entering the race. They were there to be the mayor, to enter the mayor's race.
Yes.
But they ended up doing District 9 at large. But in addition to that, I watched Ben Garcia walk in with 2 young people for school board. Yeah, he brought them in, took them to their tables, made sure their stuff was taken care of. And this is what I love. Denise Cambridge, as they were walking out, hey, how you doing? What position are you running for? What elected position are you running for?
Yeah.
And that's how we learn names real quick and what district they were actually running for.
Right.
So both of those young men were in there for school board. And then was there anybody else? Oh yeah, District 7.
That's right.
A new young lady as well. So I'll let you get to that list, honey.
Okay.
We're gonna finalize the list, starting with the mayors.
And listen, it has heated up. How do they say? Out of the frying pan into the fire. It's on fire.
Yes.
It's on fire.
Yes.
So part of the reason we do this, we have this platform, is to inform people so they can make stronger decisions.
Right.
When it comes to who's who and voting.
And to have that candid conversation.
That's right.
Really about what's really going on.
Right.
So for mayors, we have who's qualified.
So Dr. Jaketra Bryant has qualified. Steve Kelly We're gonna break it down. Steve Kelly has qualified for mayor. We have Chris Briault, and I'm probably misspelling or mispronouncing his name.
Not at fault. Call Briault. Right?
Okay, Chris Briault has qualified for mayor. We have Mark LaJoy, who's qualified, and then we have Mr. Isaiah Hughley, who has qualified. Joanne Kogel, who has qualified, and I think that's everybody.
Mr. Thomas, what's up? How you doing? He said, "What's good, y'all?"
What's going on? Welcome to CANDID. Welcome to CANDID.
Okay.
Shout out to Mr. Thomas.
Yes, he has great podcasts, great conversations on a variety of topics. Tune in, check him out.
Right. So yeah,
that's the mayor's list.
That's the mayor's list. And I'll run down the list one more time. So we have Dr. Jakeisha Bryant. We have Steve Kelly. We have Mark LaJoy. We have Mr. Isaiah Hughley. We have Joanne Kogel, Chris Briault, and
that's it.
I feel like there's one more. Did I say Steve Kelly? Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's it. All right, so let's chop it up, folks. Let's chop it up. What's your thoughts, honey?
Well,
what's your thoughts? Who are we going to start with?
It's no particular order. We can start with let's start with Dr. Jakeisha Bryant. We can start there. So
let's start.
If hopefully people have been paying attention, but if not, Jakeisha Bryant, she's not a native.
Colbert.
Jakeisha Colbert. She's not a native, but she's qualified as Jakeisha Bryant though, right?
But she's married.
So I don't know how that works. If it's I don't know how that works. But that's how she qualified as Jakeisha Bryant.
Understood.
Yeah. So I haven't.
So I get like I've seen videos where she's excited because she's the first African American woman to be on the ballot here in Columbus, Georgia, which is great. But where's discernment? Where's wisdom? And paying $1,900 and something to qualify for a race that you're not going to win. And not in this election season, she's not. And that's just being honest and being candid, right?
I mean, it is what it is.
Right. And so this is my concern. There have been ethical complaints submitted on behalf of Ms. Bryant because she was solicited by Cure Violence to help a young man that they were working with who was transitioning on bail or out of jail or something to that nature.
Yeah.
This young man, at the early age of 17, found himself charged with different charges and spending most of his adult life in jail. Upon getting out, 33, 34,
right,
they reached out, they got him out, Cure Violence got him out to mentor and support him. They reached out for services, therapy, counseling, what have you. And
this was appealing to the judge because initially the judge was not going to give him a bond.
Right.
Because he had no bond initially, right?
Right, yeah. Right. And so when Cure Violence spoke on his behalf, that them trusting the judge, trusting what they're doing in the community, helped this young man to get out. So they're looking for a therapist. They're looking for counseling. They're looking for group therapy or what have you for this young man.
Yeah.
And they reach out to Dr. Bryant, okay?
Right.
Within less than a month, she has moved this young man into her home. Within less than 3 months, they're married.
Right.
Somebody said Bryant will not win. She will not. They're married.
Yeah, they're front runners, and we know who the front runners are. But we'll get into who the front runners are for mayor.
Right.
And also city council.
Right. And so they're married, and it was communicated to her the mental health challenges, the previous assault, in detail, and basically trying to protect her and say, hey, you might want to rethink this.
Yeah.
Now, people do what they want to do. They date who they want to date. They marry who they want to marry. I have no problem with that.
Right.
What I do have a problem with is the unethical behavior. As a therapist, I know specifically because I served as one in the Army, there are boundaries that you have. You are not ever allowed to be in love, in relationship, nothing with the client,
right,
with the patient, with anybody that you're seeing and you're supposed to be helping.
right.
So my concern is that she is walking around here smiling, happy, and free on the outside, while this young man is back in jail.
Right.
When possibly, had he been in the right care, he would still be out. He would be moving in the right direction in his life. That's my issue. How in the world you walk around talking about public safety and talking about mental health as your platform, you haven't practiced what you preached,
right,
is a concern for me. And so people, like, I don't know if people are tracking it, if people understand it.
I don't think so.
For those reasons alone,
I don't think so.
She does not deserve to be considered as a mayor, because just one person, she didn't care enough to make sure that they were taken care of properly in a professional way.
Right. So she crossed those boundaries, and I'm not sure if you touched on it, but so he assaulted her. He assaulted her.
I don't mean to laugh, but yes, he did. But
and she was
told
she was forewarned.
Yeah.
I mean, she shouldn't have crossed the boundary in the first place.
That part.
She crossed it, and she was warned.
Yes.
And she still continued.
And she has a child, so she brought this into her home, knowing the charges, knowing the mental health challenges, knowing the drug use. She still chose to bring this in her home around her son. And guess what? He is back in jail for meth charges, for drugs, and then also assault. Broke her finger, her thumb, or something of that nature, right? Yes. You know, people are, well, she's the victim in this situation, but I don't think they have the background to understand.
She's not the victim.
She's a victim because of assault, but she is not the victim in the professional sense that she should have never, ever, ever put herself in a relationship, moved this young man in her home, or married him.
Okay.
And he's a child. I mean, he's pretty much a child.
Well, so for me, the reason why I say she's not a victim is because if you go to the zoo and you see signs that say "Don't feed the animals," and they're warning you, don't feed the animals. You feed the animal anyway. The animal attacks you. How are you the victim?
Well,
you're not a victim.
Listen, people will make you out to be the victim. They will make you out to be the victim, and then that victim will try to sue the zoo and sue God knows who, because the animal bit them or did what have you, after you've seen the sign that said "do not do." They will.
Well, after you saw the sign and you were verbally told "do not," so that's what I'm saying. She's not the victim, and we're pointing this out because voters need to be informed about who is showing up one way and then having a whole total different life behind closed doors.
Absolutely.
And you can have a private life. You know, you can have a private life, but your private life should remain private, and you don't have the right to say you're going to represent the city
and be harming folks
and talk about what you're running for on your platform,
right?
And then the total opposite is
happening in your home.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So we're just making sure that the public is informed about these people and what they got going on, because it seems like to us nobody's speaking on this. Nobody's calling her out.
Hush hush. Everybody's supportive. Everybody's, sharing just like nothing. But she harmed a person in our community. Period. She harmed this young man. So
I don't think you pointed out that. Yeah. So he was arrested for meth. So he was arrested for meth.
Only.
He went to jail, right? Only for meth. And then she went back and put assault charges on him. Assault and battery charges on him. And this is public information, so you can go and look it up for yourself.
Right.
So you guys, put in the comment section.
Please don't euthanize the animal. Laugh out loud.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what they would do.
And that's what's unfortunate about it, is that the animal will take the whole full responsibility after the sign was there. Do not touch. Do not put your fingers in. Do not do this, that, and the third. The animal has to take, the problem for that. Now, I want to say this as well. Of course, I'm not out here searching for nobody's business, right? She sent a friend request to me. Of course, I could see what was on her page. We have the receipts, it's on the YouTube or what have you. She got on here discussing this, screenshot what Cure Violence had to say about what she was doing in the community, and felt that people needed to know. And then when I asked her hard questions, right? instead of her answering those questions, instead of her being transparent and forthcoming, because she's sharing this information, she then took down the video and blocked Dr. Natalie Nicole because she did not want to answer the questions. So again, I'm not out here searching for information. However, she was the one who brought this information to the forefront. And then when we start asking questions, oh, now we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to answer the hard questions. And I'm sorry, if you put yourself in a public space,
right,
and you're running for a public office,
right,
then you need to be transparent. You don't get to be selective in what you want to discuss, especially when you are putting citizens at harm.
right.
And if she would do this for this young man, we can't trust that she's going to make wise decisions as a mayor.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
And this is not personal at all. It's just principle standards across the board.
Right.
And it, like I always like to say, it doesn't matter whose head is on the shoulders. It doesn't matter the name. The standards and the principles are across the board for anybody.
Right.
So it could be me. And if I'm out here, you know, acting unethical, I deserve to be called to the carpet for it.
Right.
You know, and I put somebody's life in danger because she put him in danger when she didn't provide the therapy that he needed and the counseling that he needed.
Right.
And now he's, instead of moving in the right direction, he's went back.
Yeah, he won't get a bond this time.
And too many of our African American men are in jail. So I don't take this lightly. People may act like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
People may discount this young man because he has a past or what have you.
Right.
But I do not take this lightly. I'm very, very upset that instead of him getting the help that he was supposed to get, this is what he got.
Yeah.
And he is considered a vulnerable community. When you have mental health challenges, you know, there's things that are off limits.
Well, like you said, the boundary was crossed, period.
Yeah. So she should not be running for anything with a straight face. Out here smiling, walking around, you know, every now and then you see her with a cask or whatever on, soliciting donations, when in fact she needs to have several seats.
Right.
So
Right.
we know, if anybody with good common sense knows, she is not a front runner in this mayoral race. She is not going to win this race. I would not, and what I have said on social media, recommend that anybody give any more donations or time to a candidate that's clearly not it.
Right. Right.
You can't harm our community and walk around here and smile and say you're for the community
and
and
that
for
you're
mental
here to
health.
protect the community.
You can't do that.
Yeah. So.
And one is too many. So.
And trust comes before leadership.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Trust comes before leadership. Yeah. People need to trust you before they're going to hand over leadership to you. And what she's doing out here is the total opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you bring it up, if you talk about it, don't start shutting it down when we ask questions, when we have clear questions about what really happened and what's going on.
Well, the receipts are public, so you can go look it up for yourself.
Yeah.
Period. So we don't have to beat this dead horse.
We're done.
The proof is in the pudding.
And folks, listen, I recommend that you don't cast your pearls to the swine. Is that how the scripture says?
That's how I say
you know, you don't have money to throw away in this life that we're living right now. So.
Well, and that's how you know too if the candidate is serious or not. If they got all of this baggage that they bring to the table, they're not serious.
Right.
There's no way.
And how do you care about other people? That's a part of being a good steward. Oh, and then let's talk about the fact that Ricky Smiley, a celebrity, was here. You know, I went to church with her. I grew up with her. Listen, I don't give a hill of beans if I grew up with you, if I know you, if we went to the same church and we sang in the choir. Did he know that this is what's going on here in Columbus?
Right.
And do we uphold people who are wrong just because we grew up with them or just because we know them?
Yeah.
We do not. Because if that's the case, we're just like the MAGA people.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna turn a blind eye to what's obvious in our face.
Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Yeah.
No matter who does it. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Well, we can go to Steve Kelly.
Honey, that's too much back to back.
Well, so we've already told everybody that's running, so there's really no need to go into each candidate unless you just want to.
Oh, we can. I'm just saying, here's another situation that needs to have several seats.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, put in the comment section what you guys think about.
Have you been doing your research?
Yeah, what you think about each candidate, what you know about them. Do you feel like they're a strong candidate? Do you feel like they're a serious candidate?
Again, listen, a lot of people like to gamble. I go to Las Vegas. I'm not spending my money on slot machines. That's how I am. Like, I'm not a gambler. I will look at them. I'll walk through them to get to the hotels or what have you. But I'm not throwing money away, right? So that's the number one thing I think about. $1,900 for this race, and you're not going to win. You know it. So that's my thing for Mr. Kelly, right? He has a lot of personal baggage. He has a lot of things going on. Stuff we don't want to know. We don't want to know, but it is out here, right?
Yes. Yes. If your skeletons are falling out the closet, listen, you cannot be serious about leading people and your personal life is a mess. Like, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
It doesn't work like that.
Right. There's not enough excuses in the world. Like, there is a certain pedigree. There is a certain respect that goes along with elected officials. At least I thought it used to be. I know right now in the White House, that has all went out the window.
Don't get me started.
And I don't know if that's what's giving people the impression that anything goes.
I would have to
say
so.
Listen, some of us still care. We still care. You can't be in the strip clubs and talking about you're going to be the mayor for the city of Columbus. Not for me. Now, that might be okay for some people. They might be. Some people might. Put it in the comments if you're okay that your mayor is part-time in the strip club, working in the strip club. Listen.
Yeah. So you can't at all be serious. Like, we're gonna look at you. We're gonna look at you with a side eye.
Yeah.
And everybody should if you're claiming to be trying to run for city council or either mayor.
Right.
And you are
the chief executive officer of this city, the highest seat in this city. There is no way that that's okay. Yeah.
So public office, public opinion comes with that, and everybody should know that who's running for office. Like, and people need to go through your life with a fine-tooth comb, so they can vet who's serious and who's for the city, and who's not.
So of course, initially he blocked me when we had the receipts about, him in the strip club, whatever he's doing in the strip club. So he has unblocked me. However, we understand that not only is that the concern, his family life is not where it needs to be. So as a candidate, when you are preparing to run for office, right, you either close out a page that's going to cause you some problems, or you start fresh, or you clean it up, right? So there should not be inappropriate pictures. There shouldn't be, half naked pictures. Like, there just shouldn't be things that when you say you're for the city and for the children that do not align with that. In addition to running for public office, listen, I'm not a fan of elected officials being unprofessional. I'm not a fan of anyone in a professional setting being unprofessional using profanity, right? So you're on a podcast and you're cursing, but you're for the children. That don't make sense.
Yeah.
If you're in education, we have a serious issue with babies cursing up and all down the hallways and in classrooms, and it's not appropriate. So parents, adults should lead from the front.
Exactly. And that's what leadership looks like. So yeah, again, that's why we talk about things like this, and that's why we bring up candidates who we feel, who we know are not serious based on your actions. And we know actions speak louder than words.
Right.
So we got candidates out here, I guess, who think they can run, and for whatever reason, they're still going to be supported no matter what they do.
Right. And say all my friends are black. So what are you trying to say? Like, your friends, because they're all black, they're going to accept that you are strip club material trying to run for mayor, or that, things are just jacked up? What are you trying to say about African American people as a whole in our standards? Are we that low, or is it that low?
Listen, citizens have a responsibility to do the same thing we're doing. Vet these candidates so you'll know who is who. period.
Yeah, so he talks a good game. I feel like he has a good heart. You know, we'll talk about the forum in our review of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like he's a bad person, but he's just not mayor material.
Yeah.
Not at this point, not right now.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. So,
okay.
Yeah. So who we got next? Mark LaJoy. Let's go. Let's go into
our career politician or serial
election runner,
right?
Yeah.
Mr. LaJoy. And you know, you would think he's a Republican, he's conservative, he makes that very clear. You know,
Yeah.
he's not hiding anything about his character, personality, or anything. So I've struggled to understand why his GOP folks, you know, don't support him, and how they could choose Kogel over him.
Wow.
You know,
politics are tricky. You know what I mean? So I'll say the people have already spoken. They don't want Mr. LaJoy for city council or for mayor. Like the people have spoken
or nothing.
So that's enough for me to be like, you know, what else does there? And I get it. Some people might feel like you should never give up, and that's true in some cases. You don't give up.
But that's like me trying to go out for the basketball, the women's NWA. How do you say
WNBA?
Right now, please, I would never make it. Right, so.
No, that's two different things.
But
right
I
there.
wouldn't, though. I'm just saying, like, I'm not ever going to give up. I'm going to keep trying, and I'm not going to ever make it. At some point, you have to come to some senses and say, you know,
well, listen.
No.
So part of that is vote splitting. You know what I mean? Some people are in there just to split the vote. Like, you're not campaigning. You're not concerned about showing up to forums. Why are you here?
That's true.
So that's another red flag for me.
He's got a podcast that he curses on, and he's a conservative Christian. He curses out loud, and you know, and he's very petty. I call him the petty king of this election because he will, you know, definitely call out other politicians or other candidates. And if he knew better, we're not looking for candidates to behave that way. We're looking for candidates to run an election that communicates what they're gonna do, what they plan to do, you know, what leadership they've already demonstrated.
Right.
We don't want to see you going back and forth talking about other candidates and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I think it's wasteful. What you think?
Well, like I said, the people have spoken. Mr. LaJoy, you're not it, sir. Yeah, you're not it.
Yeah.
But, you know, by all means, if you got money to burn to keep running, hey,
right.
to each his own. But I just...
It can't get any clearer than this. When your folks, when your base, when your GOP folks choose Kogel, and she is definitely, I mean, I think he was a command sergeant major. He's got military background.
Yeah.
He's got all of this experience, right? And when they choose someone like Kogel, who is like peanuts as compared, like that is insulting.
Well,
that is insulting.
I don't think they chose Kogel.
Well,
I just think a certain demographic or a certain group of people chose her, just like there's a certain group of people that's going to choose him.
Well, they're saying she's at her Republican meeting, so they did choose her. They chose her.
Well,
listen, Columbus was voted one of the 10 best run cities in the nation under the administration of Isaiah Hughley. No financial malfeasance has ever been proven under his leadership. Listen, in the forum yesterday, we did have some candidates to talk about that, so we're going to get to that as well.
Yeah, and we asked some of those questions, and yes, the proof is in the pudding. They didn't vote. They didn't, you know, he didn't bribe these people to say that Columbus was one of the best run cities.
Right.
These are facts.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are facts. This is proven leadership that you can't argue with. You can't argue with the facts.
And what you have to understand is that as an African American person, they're not giving us anything. If it was something that was bad that needed to come out, it's going to be all over the place, and he would be under the jail. You know, we had, and bless the lady, because I don't know what happened, but the city manager for Ellaville, wherever it was, you know, for mishandling money, things of that nature. They didn't waste any time, you know, charging her and picking her up and things of that nature. And she is a Caucasian lady. Imagine had it been Mr. Hughley all of these years, he would have been under the jail if, in fact, there was any form of stealing, theft, things of that nature. And that's what people need to understand. We don't get a pass like that. We do not get a pass like that.
Listen.
Not ever.
If the man has done these things, where's the receipts?
Yeah.
You know, has he been arrested? Like, you know,
right.
you can't just shoot from the hip. You know, reasonable people like us, we want to see the facts.
Right.
There's no facts supporting what these accusations that are against him.
Right.
But we do know there was a conscious effort to terminate him.
Right.
You know that.
Right.
Those are facts.
Right.
You can't dispute it.
Right. And we do know that, you know, the city is confused at some point because we have the consultants say there's been 35 years of excellence, you know, and we kind of talked about this yesterday in the forum. 35 years of excellence, no issues. And then you'll see some city council people get on and say, well, that doesn't mean every little fine detail, blah, 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 blah. Well, you're paying these people $649,000 to tell you what?
Yeah.
Either it's been 35 years of excellence or it hasn't.
Again, where's the receipts? That's all I care about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's been the same consistent consulting company. So they've been here the entire time. Mm-hmm. So if there's issues in 2022 or 2023, you know, if it was issues like, y'all are paying these people to tell you this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and to be fair, if you're going to be fair, you know what I mean, you have to just state the facts.
Right.
If you're not stating the facts, there's some other ulterior motive that you have.
Right.
So
and that's like, you know, with Miss Tucker, right? On 22, people got mad. They got mad, and that was 2022, right? So clock the T here, right? 2022, she stated, I want to thank you, Isaiah Tucker. I want to District 4, yes. I want to thank you for doing this and doing that. They give him a standing ovation. But then here recently, if you don't want 41 years of mess and old and this, that, and the third, you know, then we need to move forward. Well, which one is it?
Yeah.
Which one is it? So if you're going to say things, you need to be specific. You can't just have this just vague, you know, now it's 41 years, he's been a whole mess. Well, in 2022, you weren't saying that. In 2022, you were giving him a standing ovation and saying, thank you for what you're doing for this city, and you're on the right track, and da-da-da-da-da. So which one is it?
Right.
And people need to pay attention to that, you know, because you don't run a government emotionally. You run it by the standards and by the book. So. Yeah. So you finished with Mr. LaJoy?
Yeah. We can move on. And please put in the comment section your thoughts, your concerns, your experience with some of the candidates. If you've been to some of these forums, because there was a forum at the Columbus Library on Macon Road. Yeah. Mr. LaJoy was there. Sherry Aaron was there.
And
Steve Kelly was there. And Jaketra Bryant. So and I keep saying this, and I'm gonna continue to say it. The forum is for the city to properly vet these candidates. So people are not showing up.
Right.
So people are not showing up. And we all know that local governments have the lowest turnout.
Right.
So people have got, especially.
But they are the most important. Local elections are the most important. People worry about, you know, the federal election, you know.
Which is important too.
But
the local election, it impacts your daily life.
Right. Like next day.
Right. Yeah. This stuff is going to impact you like daily.
Right.
So.
All right. So, Mr. LaJoy, who's next?
Who's on the list? We've been through. Let's go to Mr. Brialt, Mr. Johnny Come Lately.
Yeah. So listen, he looks like a big guy on pictures. Yeah. And on the billboards. Yeah. But he's actually a cute little man in person.
I've never seen him personally. Like I've seen pictures of him. But I've never run into him or come across him.
Yeah, that's my first time seeing him in person. I saw him at the Citizen Center.
Okay. When he declared?
Yes. So he was downstairs. They was getting pictures, content, what have you. And so.
Did he recognize you? Did you?
Well, I don't know him. He doesn't know me.
Oh, did you introduce yourself?
I didn't. But after they told me he had been up there to, you know, fill out some paperwork, I went back down there. They were already gone because I was going to ask, like, okay, what position did you qualify for. And let it be told, it's the mayor.
Listen, please put in the comment section your thoughts and concerns and comments about
it says, I have challenged people on false reporting and was told they don't care if they are lying. They just intend to harm. That's exactly what's going on. When you see complete strangers showing up on our pages, right?
Yeah.
Red Night Red, whatever they're called, Mark Everson, JP, Jason Patterson showing up on these pages with some anybody but, with lies and things of that nature. You don't belong here. You don't belong here. We are not Facebook friends, but they are strategic in making sure they're going on all of these platforms and putting information to cause division in our community, right?
Yeah.
And it's been effective, because right now we have Chris, because some African American people do not want to support Mr. Hughley.
Yeah.
And I've seen comments where they have suggested that this young man is going to take black votes.
It's possible. Yeah. From what I can tell, the general consensus from some people is that, they're supporting him. Yeah.
Who? Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're supporting him.
Yeah.
And again, certain sides of town, the voter turnout is poor. It's very low. It's poor. So it's easy to split the vote. Now, is he serious? I don't think he's serious about running, because you don't jump in the race at the last minute. And to me, if you're a serious candidate and you really truly care about the city, where were you last year? Where were you? You don't just come at the 12th hour and say, "Hey, I'm running," and expect me to believe that you're serious.
So in my experience, they had until March 6th to qualify.
Okay.
That does not mean if they waited until 11:59, 11:30 a.m. to or 11:59 a.m. to qualify, that they're not prepared, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that.
I'll let you finish.
Yeah,
Land your plane and then.
Yes, thank you. So my experience is that, I've seen him on social media. He gives big checks to schools, to African American organizations, things of that nature. So I think he's boots on the ground. I think he does have a relationship with the African American community, and for that reason is why he was compelled or brought in or reeled in to run. Because a lot of people are not happy with the selection of mayors that we have. Okay? African American people aren't. Some people aren't. So I do believe he was brought in to, he's not going to win, but I do believe he was brought in to split some votes, to take some votes or what have you, like you suggested.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And so I disagree. So I agree and I disagree. So you said you don't, just because you jump in at the last minute doesn't mean you're not prepared.
For example, if it were me,
okay,
and my strategy is that 11:39, 11:59, I'm going to go in and qualify. That doesn't mean my website is not together, my signs are not printed, my social media page is not waiting, that I haven't been doing the work in the community to be prepared for this moment, just because I clock in on the last day at the last minute. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say.
I see what you're saying. So, but that makes, to me, that's a red flag, because why are you jumping in at the last minute? You
have until March 2nd, March 6th.
But why though? Why wait till the last minute? That's what I'm saying.
Maybe you don't want people to know. Maybe you want that surprise, hello, I'm here, type situation. He got news. He got visibility and things of that nature just because he waited till the last minute.
No. In my opinion, and from what I've seen, you need momentum.
That's true.
Okay, so
that's true.
Again, you don't jump in at the last moment as if you've been going back and forth. Should I run? Should I not run? No. Because for me, that tells me that you're not prepared. If you jump in at the last minute, and maybe you do have a website, and maybe you do have yard signs, and maybe you do have this or that. But how prepared, to me, can you be when if you do your research, normally somebody at least 6 months ahead of time, they're letting people know so they can go ahead and establish their base.
Right.
They can go ahead and establish.
Well, he could have been established on the low, honey.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know, but that's just the thought. So, you know,
what say you?
Yeah, Mr. Flowers is championing him online. You know, he's making promises. I don't know if they can, you know, answer. He's saying that Mr. Flowers, has pictures saying that, you know, this is gone when he becomes mayor, and that's like the ticket things in the school areas, those cameras or whatnot. That's a tall order. He's also saying that, you know, this will be fixed and done, road situations, you know, that's been going on and on. So he is campaigning for him strong on social media. Now, he is a fan of Toya Tucker. I've heard him.
Mr. Flowers?
Yes, I've heard him in his podcast. He's not going to make excuses for having respect for her and, you know, what she does in the community. So, you know, that could be an angle. People come together and they have coalitions to do whatever they can if they know that somebody is gaining momentum or speed, or they don't want a specific candidate to have that momentum. Kogel was hurt by the nationalist young man.
Right, Ben Garcia.
Yes. Nobody in their right mind believes that she had no idea who he was, because that just sends a signal that she's an incompetent leader and she did not vet her staff. So nobody believes that. So she knew, and because it was, you know, exposed, let me fix this for the sake of my campaign. But then you have Anchor, who has also championed her and endorsed her, who says, hey, I'm not letting him go. I'm going to allow him to continue to be my consultant.
Yeah.
This young man, strong. Now, I cannot pronounce your name, young man, but he is strong on social media as it regards he gets in with the boxing gloves.
Kazi?
Yes, with people on social media. This is my first year considering voting, and I want a sweep change of leadership. But this election season seems like a reality show. Absolutely.
You hit the nail on the head, sir.
Yes.
You hit the nail on the head.
I've never trusted government because I know money always blurs lines when it comes to politicians. I said the same thing. They in it together. Okay, who in it together? I think it's a coalition behind the scenes. They found somebody that's likable. You know, he does do things in the community. He's a name that people know. He's won the most money in our city as a lawyer, but I think he's currently suspended as a lawyer for whatever reason.
So,
Brialt.
So coalitions are good.
Yeah.
You need a collaborative effort. Yeah. To bring about positive change, though. Not to continue to further division and to continue to further chaos in the city.
Right.
And on a serious note, though, people, listen, citizens got to do their job, because, you know, a lot of people are pointing fingers at these candidates and those in these elected positions, but the citizens are not doing their job.
Yeah, you got to show up.
Low voter turnout. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we expect in certain areas for there to be low voter turnout because they're focused on they're trying to live.
Yeah.
You know, the bare essentials. Food, clothing, shelter. They're focused on those things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Versus somebody else who doesn't have those worries.
Right.
They can focus on politics.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but that's no excuse. Citizens, because that is part of the solution.
Right.
You getting out, getting registered to vote, having a conversation, bringing your family and friends along so that you can affect change in the city. So if the citizens don't do their job, we're going to keep getting things like we're getting.
Right.
We're going to keep having the city council members looking like a reality show, like you just said. So
absolutely,
folks have got to get out and do their job too. So
it says,
there's an
watch
equal responsibility.
Flowers' bank account. Help today. Watch his bank account.
Listen, be that as it may, you know what I mean? I'm not mad. I understand what comes with politics. So, you know, of course, when you're campaigning for somebody, you're going to do whatever you need to do to to try to sway opinions of why the city should vote for a certain candidate.
Right.
I get it. You know what I mean? The boxing gloves are on. You know, people are not pulling on punches.
It's a competition. Yeah, it's a competition. And I will also say this too: when you come out publicly and you have a voice and you have a statement, don't get mad because people disagree with you. If you are making public announcements, you are publicly championing someone, don't get mad. You know, have the emotional intelligence and the respect to say, okay, I put myself out here. It comes with the territory. Don't get upset. Don't get angry with people because they disagree. You got to be, you know, better than that.
And we can respectfully agree to disagree.
Right.
Like, nobody needs to die. No, there doesn't need to be bloodshed.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. And specifically, you know, if I'm going to come out and I'm going to champion a certain elected official, and then somebody tells me, oh, you know, well, you splitting the vote or you causing division, I'm not going to then tell them, well, you should be calling and texting me. No, we're public situation right here. All of this is public knowledge and communication. If I'm going to put what I put out publicly, then you expect that it's going to come back publicly. Don't expect a phone call or a text if it's all over social media. Right. You know what I'm saying? Right.
Right. So we understand what comes with politics. You know, there's going to be some mudslinging, and there's going to be some how do they say it? When it comes to politics and back and forth. Smear campaign, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah. The smear campaign is alive and well. You know what I mean?
And it is horrible. Like, people are showing up on pages. Yeah. Who are you? And why are you here?
But listen though, that's why you're only gonna know who is who by properly vetting the candidate and doing your due diligence. That's the only way you're gonna be able to sift and find out who is who. And if somebody's serious, or if they just dare to waste time and split the vote.
Right. And listen, it's like, you know, Jason Patterson is on a payroll. I mean, every hour, he's putting out information from 2004, 2012 about nobody but Mr. Hughley, right? Mr. Hughley is not the only person who worked in our government. Listen. He is not the only person accountable for the things that has happened over the years. Nobody has anything to say about the mayor, who is the chief executive officer. No one has anything to say about those city council members who are oversight and should be paying attention because they don't know what they're doing and what to look for in the first place. Nobody's saying anything, but they are being used. The city council people are using these people as puppets to do their dirty work in the community. And I know enough to know that.
Yeah, and this is a personal attack. Like, you know, this man has laid a body of work. So dissect his body of work and say that he's not a good leader. But don't make up stuff. But like I said, that's a personal attack, and that's what comes with territory. Right. So those that are personally attacking him and have an ulterior motive, and those that are personally attacking any candidate, and not stating the facts, you're not. You have a different ulterior. You have a different motive.
Mr. Hood, Dr. Hood. The MAGA are trying to create a runoff, banking on low voter turnoff. Right.
Shout out to Dr. Hood.
Yes. And they're
Shout out to Dr. Hood, Project Rebound Inc. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, honey.
But just shout out to Dr. Hood. He's a pillar in the community. He has been around doing great things in the community for a long time. So shout out to you, Dr. Hood. We appreciate you. Salute.
Yes, and they're banking on division, and it's happening. It's happening, you know.
Listen, we got to leave those people behind. Yeah. Let me get on my soapbox for a second. We have to leave, whether African American, whether white, Hispanic, Asian, what have you. Those who are sowing the seeds of division, we got to leave them behind. And the only way the city is going to be a great city and do amazing is if we have people in leadership who reflect, you know, equality, you know, justice, all the things that it's supposed to stand for. That's the only way. If we keep...
And competence, listen, you can't be running if you don't have a clue about what you're doing.
Well, we're going to get into that too.
Yeah, so we did Bryant, we did, we didn't do Kogel.
Oh, we didn't do Joanne Kogel yet.
Okay.
If you're just joining us, please give us a thumbs up if you find value here. If you've been rocking with us for a while, make sure you share this, bring other people into the conversation because the city, this is a pivotal election. Yeah. And the city needs to be together. Everybody needs to be together. on the same page.
You know, I'm just still trying to figure out, how did she become the person that they chose to run for mayor, right?
Well, who else was it going to be?
Toya got more sense than she has. She has more experience and will to learn and things of that nature than Kogel has.
But listen, these people are playing chess, not checkers. So
Right.
if they put her up to run, that is a reason why. Like, they're not just putting anybody up there to run.
You're right.
So they are running. They put her
other
up there
thing
for a
behind
reason.
that is that she doesn't. I was gonna say she doesn't have a brain, but she has a brain. She does have a brain,
Okay.
but it's not a mayoral brain.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is she becomes on puppet strings for Davis and the GOP and whoever else that's going to be running our city, because it's not her. She is the most incompetent person that I have seen in office in Columbus at this point. And it's embarrassing that they are choosing her to run for mayor. It's embarrassing that like people like Anchor, who's a business owner, you know, people like Toya and Davis, they know better. They know better. They sit in those city council meetings. They listen to her, you know, talk or what have you, or not talk. They know better. But she is the one, he said, that can reach both sides. She's a millennial. She can reach both sides. And therefore, she is going to be used to do their bidding.
Listen, follow the money.
Follow it.
Follow the money. Whoever is, you know, funding her campaign, follow the money.
Right. She can't even speak from a place of conviction. She doesn't have a place of reference to understand. She has not done a good job. She has done a poor job in District 7.
Yeah.
And in the district, how can she be the mayor of the entire city? And I'm not speaking from a place of just saying it, experience. As a small business owner in District 7, for her to put on her social media page that she champions small business and what she's doing, when asked, what exactly are you doing? Crickets. And she's not doing anything. And we have blight in our community that's been there for over 2 years, and that she's not been able to have the resources or the mindset to get fixed.
Listen.
And so this is just like basic common sense. Like when you apply for a job and you have a resume, your resume needs to align with what you're applying for.
Well, listen, one thing I have learned is when it comes to politics, the standards are very, very low.
Absolutely.
There is not, you don't need much to run for president. You don't need much. you need less than that to run for city council or mayor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Absolutely.
That does not
it's
surprise
very
me
sad.
at all.
It's very sad. So we did Kogel, we've done Bryant, we've done Kelly, we've done LaJoy, we've done Brialt, and then the last one is Mr. Hughley, right?
Yep, Mr. Hughley.
Right? What's your thoughts on Mr. Hughley?
Yeah. So from what I can tell, Mr. Hughley has been in city government just as long as, I would say, I know Glenn Davis has been on city council for a long time. Mayor Skip Henderson has been on city council for a long time.
Yeah.
So he
and
has.
Mr. Allen in District 2.
Yes.
A very long time.
Yes, but he has been in city government a long time. So he has laid a body of work. He understands city government. So for me, it's a natural progression to go from city manager to the mayor. You know what I mean? He already knows the ins and outs of the city.
Yeah.
He knows how the city works. He has the relationships. He understands budget. He understands public safety. He understands economic development. He's brought businesses to Columbus. He's brought investors to Columbus. So for me, it's a no-brainer. It's a natural progression. So if we're being honest, there's no way Joanne Kogel has any kind of experience over Mr. Isaiah Hughley. There's no way.
No reason she's a front runner as compared. If you put resumes side by side, you take away names, you take away color. If you're just looking at black and white, and mostly that's what happens. You know, in a job, they're looking at black and white first, which I mean paper, resume. And it's whatever resume holds the most weight, the most experience, that's going to move forward. So this is what I'm talking about. Like in America, they talk about some darn DEI. She is considered DEI in the sense of she's not being up here as a front runner because of merit.
And because of experience.
And because of experience and because of qualification at all.
Yeah.
And that's most of the candidates that's running.
Listen, put your comments in the comment section about who you think the front runners are and what you think about Mr. Hughley and his experience. Because that's what we're talking about here. You know, what are we talking about? We're talking about experience and qualifications.
And who's going to be able to move this city forward day one.
Period. You can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like the man for personal reasons, fine. But don't try to say he's not qualified. That's all I'm trying to say.
That part. And you don't have to like him. Who likes everybody that they work with? We barely like everybody in our family.
That's not realistic.
Right.
That's not realistic.
So you're supposed to have evaluations. They don't even have evaluations in the city. That's a chief executive officer setting the tone for what an organization is supposed to, how it's supposed to be set up.
Right.
To blame the city manager for everything that went wrong in this city is ridiculous. It's ludicrous to think that that's okay.
Well, but we understand, you know.
Why?
Yeah, because, you know, these are strategic steps taken so that you
all
can
of
be
a
like,
sudden, overnight,
you see, this is why we're terminating this
all
person.
All of a sudden, overnight. But what was less than smart, and I want y'all to pay attention to this about our city council, is that they terminated this man. They had to still pay this man until the end of the year. So we paying somebody that they terminate. They're using our taxpayer dollars to make sure he still gets a salary. And then on top of that, they talking about getting on to the mayor about not hiring a new city manager.
Right.
But y'all didn't have no plan in place before you just decided to terminate the city manager.
Right.
No plan whatsoever. And what's been said is, what makes you think that after the people, anybody paying attention to the shenanigans that happen with this, that somebody would want to come and work with you all?
Exactly.
Who would want to work with them?
No succession plan. Just, we need to get him out. We need to get him out.
Right.
So, you know, this was an emotional decision they made.
Right.
Not forward thinking. No plan.
Nothing.
You know, no evaluations. It's foolery.
Nothing.
It's foolery.
And as I mentioned, in the military, right, you can't just throw people out. You got to have a track record. You got to have counseling sessions, statements, what have you, that there is a pattern of situations. So if you also, when you give those counseling statements, you're giving them SMART goals. You're giving them an opportunity to fix whatever is broken. None of that happened.
Right.
We had COVID. People weren't working. Stuff was jacked up. They hit the ball running at some point, all of a sudden, because they had an agenda. Let me read these comments. Facts. District 7 is horrible. I guess all of the funds District 7 goes to Broadway. We need righteous leadership with the highest political credentials and or relevant experience. Absolutely, young man. 41 years of leadership tells a great story. That's the truth. Although I would like new leadership logistically, Mr. Hughley is the best candidate for mayor. Absolutely. She represents the coalition of the city council in Columbus, Midtown, CPD, veterans, etc. She is. Who are you talking about, Mr. Tucker or Miss Kogel?
I think Kogel.
Yeah.
Well, listen, high voter turnout. When we're talking about the city at large seat, and we're talking about the mayoral candidates, the North Side, Midtown, districts 1, 3, 5. High voter turnout are in areas where people pay taxes, they own homes. These are the people who are voting. People who are 60 plus years old, these are the people who are voting.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So there has to be, people got to get out and vote. Like this election we cannot afford to get another mayor in there who won't set the tone,
lackadaisical,
lacks leadership.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
right.
allows the city council members to run this circus.
Run amok in there, and only wants to address them when in fact he is offended. You're reckless and arrogant when you're offended.
Right.
But you allow those city council members to sit up there and talk whatever kind of way they want about citizens, about staff, and they're not collected, but you want to collect publicly, Mr. Anchor.
Right.
That's not okay.
Right. So
yeah, lady from District 5 gotta go. Yes, she does.
Charmaine Crabb is her name.
To go.
Yeah.
And we gotta help.
She's part of the problem.
We gotta help District 5, the candidate, to help him get in the seat. We'll talk a little bit later about his forum and how he did yesterday, but yes, sir, that is absolutely the truth. Okay, that's everybody.
That's everybody.
And you know, again, I just want to highlight
and put in the comment section if we missed anybody. I think we got everybody.
Nobody's perfect. You're not going to work 41 years in government and not have problems with employees, not have problems with people stealing, not have problems with people with theft. You're not going to work 41 years and not have issues with employees. We had issues with people in the Army that had to be chaptered out. I had a gentleman who reported to our duty station, changed his paperwork, gave himself rank, gave himself schools that Ranger schools, all kinds of things, created all these delusions for himself.
Right.
And he was a veteran, right? Okay, do I get in trouble because he's delusional? Do I take the fall because he's delusional or he's not showing up to work or he has cheated and this, that? Do I get the full blame for all of that? This is what they're doing in this city council, is everything that any employee has done wrong in this government, he's the fault. He's the problem. And
that's an ulterior motive there. You know what I mean? So
anybody with good sense know that. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm going to tell you, I say this, we're not a part of no organizations. We're not in no clubs. We don't have family members in the government. We're not on anybody's payroll. You're going to get the clear truth, facts about how we perceive things.
Right.
No one's perfect. Everybody should be held accountable. It doesn't matter if it was Mr. Hughley or if it was, whoever.
Well, there's greater accountability when you're in public office.
Right.
When you're in city government, local government, of course, heavy is the head that wears the crown. So they have to be held at a different standard.
Right.
Of course. But again, where is innocent until proven guilty? So where are all these, you know what I mean? They say he's done this and he's done that.
Right.
But where's the facts?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where are the facts?
Right. And so, bringing up all this stuff from 2004, I mean, how many mayors have been in office who could have terminated him, who could have replaced him? They didn't. They kept him on board because guess what? Experience and know-how, and because of what he has demonstrated as a leader. Period.
You can't, those are facts. Yeah,
and the current mayor wouldn't have terminated him. He didn't recommend, but city council was strategic. They brought Anchor on and they brought Mr. Byron Hickey on to get the votes that they needed.
In
and
other
people
words,
need to pay attention to that.
Hire guns.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, these people are playing chess, not checkers. And these things are, backroom deals and all these things that are happening so that they can get what they want to get done.
Right.
And that's why, collaboration is important.
Right.
And that's why, when we had the forum yesterday, we asked questions to different candidates to try to figure out, okay, so if there was something unpopular that was being voted on by your, fellow council members, how are you going to vote? What are you going to do about it? Right. And that's important.
It's important.
Because you need to collaborate with the other city council members.
Right.
You may not personally like them. You may not agree with what, the way they vote.
Right.
But in order to move the city forward, you have to put your differences aside for the greater good of the community. And the current city council members, they're not doing that.
Absolutely not.
Their egos they're just moving off of ego and they're
personal
self-serving right now.
agendas,
So
things of that nature, personal ambitions.
If you're paying attention, you see that and you understand that.
Yeah, and what I want to make clear as well is that yes, we can all vote for at-large positions. We have a specific district that we have to vote for, and we can all vote for mayors. But at the foundation of it, all of their decisions affect every citizen.
Right.
So when Crabb in District 5 motioned to criminalize homelessness, right, and everybody else voted yes, with the exception of Kogel, that hurt us as a community. And what I suggested is that they should have started with solutions. You want a soccer complex when you have a homeless and an unhoused issue in District 7. Where is the shelters? Where are the task force to make sure that your community, who's going to play soccer and they're worried about paying their bills and worried about, you know, being able to keep a home over their head, a roof over their head.
Yeah.
So your priorities are all jacked up, right? And it's important. So when we have these conversations, you need to have conversations with somebody in District 5, somebody in District 3, someone in District 9, because everything they decide, it affects us all.
Right.
I may not live in District 7 or I may not live in District 3, but I may work in it, you know, and that's how serious this is. And the fact that District 5 was able to sit up there and talk reckless out of her mouth about African American clergy and about African American people, and it go unchecked, but the mayor wants to check Anchor, call him reckless and arrogant, speaks volumes to what they feel about us as citizens in this city.
Right.
And I just need y'all to pay attention to that. You won't check none of that, but you want to check him because he's attacking you personally.
Right. So, again, citizens have to get to the polls. Not only that, but citizens have to show up in these city council meetings and make their voices heard.
We got to stop giving people a pass.
Like, Columbus has got to, the citizens, for me, and I keep harping on this, the citizens have got to do a better job.
Yeah.
That's what I see. That's part of the problem right
You got to pull people in. You got to get people to vote.
Right.
You know, you got to just look past the selfishness of, you know, thinking that it's not going to work. Because if it didn't work, listen, they would have never suppressed our votes in the first place. They would have never told us we weren't allowed to vote. They would have never made us jump through hoops if our vote didn't count. It counts, and we have to show up in this election and speak volumes loud and clear.
Right.
That's why these people are working so hard, and they're on everybody's social media page, anybody but this and anybody but that, and sharing all of this information because they want to be effective and causing division in our community. They're trying to make us feel bad, look bad, or whatever. Oh, we're not going to vote for people just because they're black. Listen, white people get away with far more, and they still support one another, okay? They still will put people in office. They don't care about that. And right now, he's done nothing as compared to the president that we have in office. Nothing. And that man shouldn't be in office. But they want to stoop down on this level right here and try to say that this person does not deserve to be in the office, but they voted for a pedophile, a rapist, a racist, and a 34 convicted felon. Yeah. Make that sense. Math makes sense.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. So, yeah, there's got to be a better job and a more collaborative effort, you know, to bring about change in the city.
Yeah,
you know
and we're going to have to do our work. We're going to have to talk. We're going to have to educate people, and we're going to have to do it in a way that is effective, right?
Yeah.
You know, miss the noise, miss all the distractions that they're bringing, because this is the reformed KKK. It's the reformed, what do they call it? Jim Crow.
Yeah.
You know, now they're using social media to, you know, they're not wearing the robes. They're not, you know, just calling you outright what have you.
Yeah.
Now they're just using tactics to divide our community. And when we are divided, we are going to fall. And we cannot afford that in this election. And unfortunately, we can see that it's already happening. It's already happening. They are turning people against one another and, you know, working in their coalitions to bring new people in, you know, to divide and split the votes, right? but we got to do better. We got to make sure we stay on course.
Yeah, we need more town halls. We need these conversations to continue, and for people to wake up. You know what I mean, and see what's happening in the city.
Right.
You know what I mean.
And just remember,
things gotta change.
These folks that are telling us not to vote for our folks voted for a rapist, a pedophile, a racist, a 34-count convicted felon. They voted for that. They're happy about that. They don't regret that. But they would have us think that we shouldn't vote for our people.
Well, listen, so I agree and I disagree.
I get you.
Okay, so
I get you.
Listen, you want the best person for the job, period.
Right.
Like, we want our city council, and our city is diverse. The country is diverse.
Yes.
The world is diverse.
Yes.
Yeah, you need representation, and you want people who look like you.
Yes.
Because we both know, or we all know, that there's a certain demographic who's basically alienated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so in order for those people to be heard and to feel heard, there needs to be someone who looks like them, who you know, they can identify with.
Yeah.
To say, you know what, this person understands.
But that doesn't mean our standards are low.
What do you mean?
Meaning, that doesn't mean we just accept anybody.
Of course not. And for some reason, listen, put it in the comments section. For some reason, the standards in Columbus are low. Please help. I'm from Columbus, born and raised. And I still can't get it wrapped around my mind why the standards are so low when it comes to African American people.
So which district you want to slide into? 7, 3,
Let's
1?
start in 7. Let's start in 7. But please put in the comment section. Help us understand why, and I'm talking about amongst African American people, why are the standards so low? Somebody will run, they will run in District 7, an African American person, and then they won't be held accountable. Nobody's asking them the hard questions.
They get mad at you?
Yeah. We got a candidate, Mr. Averett, Mr. Marquise Averett, who was running for District 7.
Yeah, and look how quick he just dropped District 7 and went up to District 140. Like, do you really care about the community? You done spent all this money on District 7 signs, District 7 this, shirts and all of this. And just like this, when you saw another opportunity, a higher opportunity, you chucked the deuces.
And not only that, this man has a history of drunk driving. So you're concerned about public safety, but you're a danger to the public at the same time.
Absolutely.
So why is nobody else calling him out?
Right.
Why is your own community or village or church members or family not saying, because that's what you do, people that you care about and you love, you tell them the truth.
Right.
If my brother has a history of DUIs and he's talking about running for a city council, I'm going to be straight with him. Nah, man, you need to go get some help. City council should be the last thing that you're thinking about.
Right.
But for whatever reason, people are patting this man on the back,
pumping him up,
and telling him to run.
Moving him forward. And let me explain this. So maybe if it was 18, 19, 17, 20, you ain't supposed to be drinking, right? So I'm listing ages. Nah. You ain't even supposed to be drinking and doing drugs. So maybe it was 21. Okay, but that's not the case. This man was a grown man in his 30s and late 20s with these charges, right? Recently, August 2025. So you 30, 36, 37 years old with a recent drug DUI situation on your record. That is a no-go. And for me, for people who want to lead, people who have a desire to be an elected official, there's a certain type of lifestyle that you live. And this is not it. Because the very last thing that we need is for him to be elected and then to be plastered all over the news, District 7 or District 140, DUI, Mr. Averett.
Right.
When take the time, get your stuff together, get your life together, whatever's causing the DUIs, because guess what? Not only could you have hurt yourself, you could have hurt someone else. And this is not once, it's a pattern. It's 4, 5, 6 times of it. And when you get mad at somebody else for telling you the truth, that tells me right there too, you're not ready for leadership. You got a lot of yes people around you when you need people around you that's going to be honest, because you're a grown man and tell you the truth.
Right. So accountability is what we're talking about. Accountability, and it's, for some reason in our community, it's not happening. People feel like they can just run and nobody's going to say anything, knowing that they got this history, knowing that they have these things falling all out of the closet. You know what I mean? So, and that's a problem I have.
Right.
Like,
so I would need him to have several seats. Right.
Why is that? There should be an outcry.
That is not leadership material for me at all. You can't lead us when you are struggling in an area like that, because you're going to hurt us more than you help us. Period. So, somebody said Chris should have stayed in the race.
Chris Kelly?
Yes.
Yeah, listen. So, he has his reasons. And he did a podcast with
somebody Sanchez.
Yeah, he was interviewed and he gave his reasons why he dropped out of the race. Of course, we're disappointed. You know what I mean? We felt like he was a great candidate for District 7. His standards were high, and I felt like he had a concrete plan. He was knowledgeable. He already works. He already works. In the field of government. But like I said, he stated his reasons, and he has his reasons for dropping out of the race. Of course, we wanted to see him do well, and we felt like he was the best candidate for District 7. But for whatever reason, he chose to drop out. So the citizens, of course, if you don't know why he dropped out, you have to go watch the podcast. If you know him personally, of course, you can call him and ask him why he dropped out. But, it is what it is. But, we have to do a better job of making sure that people are
committed.
Right.
And so again, since the beginning of this situation, like my heart is that, you're not taking donations, you're not taking people's time, if you're not committed, right? Because money has been invested, time has been invested. And so, God told you to jump in, and then God told you to jump out. But where does that leave the people that were supporting you, in the middle of all of this? Because what was God telling them? Was God telling them to give money because you might drop out, or because he has bigger or better? It doesn't make sense. It's not all just toeing the line like it needs to in my mind, and things are not making sense. But we respect the fact that, whatever reasons you choose to do what you do, you do it. But as a leader, you have to understand that the decisions that you make affect other people. And I believe that people specifically, I know he was the champ for me for District 7. I was looking for this breath of fresh air to come to District 7. Experience working as a deputy, whatever he is, for Bishop Sanford. So he's already in the community. He's already well-resourced, things of that nature. So to just drop out after you said God told you to run and had prepared you, I'm still a little bit confused. And so there's not much you can tell me that's going to make sense for me right now. That's how I feel about that. People, it makes people not trust you at this point. Because, if they feel like, hey, at one point you told us, hey, God said to get in the race, and he had been preparing you for so long to get in the race. And then abruptly he told you this is not for you. I mean, that's fair for people to be upset. I mean, people have a right to feel the way they feel, whether it be upset, frustrated, disappointed. You know what I mean? And it's not enough explaining away that you can really give at this point. I just feel like people were let down. We had our hopes up, and we were let down. Period. And with an explanation of what God said and what God told. What about the people that were supporting? What did God tell them?
Well, so, folks got to pick up the pieces. That's all I can say. I mean,
they're picking up the pieces. We have Miss Ash, who's joined the race. And we have Miss Richardson, who's joined the race. And so what's your thoughts there?
And Becca Zajac, she was one of the...
We don't talk about Becca first?
Well, we just talking about who's in District 7 that's running. So Becca Zajac, We got Lakeitha Ash, and we have
Miss Richardson. I'm not sure how to pronounce her first name, so I don't want to mess it up. But Miss Richardson.
But yeah, so District 7.
Mr. Davis says they have to understand it's not just a title or about power. It's work that has to be done in communities. There is no place for ego or power-hungry candidates. That is so true. Yes, sir. And your word needs to mean something. You know, God is not the author of confusion. He's not the author of confusion. He's not the author of double-mindedness either. So you can't just be saying things and, you know, one day is this and one day is that.
Yeah.
We need people who are going to be in it to win it and to do the work, period.
Yeah, I don't believe politics. I don't think there's a place for religion in politics.
Right, that part.
You know, because not everybody, you're religious. Maybe some people who are voting for you are not religious, so they're not going to understand that part.
Right.
You know, and they shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? So if you're committed and you say you're going to do this is what they expect.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then when you don't follow through, people have the right to be upset.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's where we are.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So let's get to
Colgate is a plantation. What is a Colgate? It's a plantation. People who get the nod, kiss the click, ring, black folk have accepted popularity versus platform.
Who is this?
Dr. Hood. The model politicians have sold their platform to the highest bidder to enrich their pockets and ego. Who cares for poor people? Pastoral groups should raise the ethical problem if the puppet masters give them the nod. Okay. And I'm tracking with you, sir, because you are a pillar of this community. You have been there, done that through all of these elections. So we honor that wisdom, and we understand that you know exactly what you mean and what you're talking about.
And listen, Dr. Hood, we need you to show up in these forums. And we need people like you and other folks in the community to continue to show up in these forums so that, you know, you can educate the people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Folks got to be educated.
Right.
And folks have to understand what's happening and how the city is, you know, what makes up the city.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so so we're looking forward to running into you, whether it be a town hall or one of these forums, but things got to change.
Right.
Period. We cannot afford, and we keep saying this.
Right.
We cannot afford for these same people to keep getting in office and causing all this division and chaos in the city.
Right. Right.
Period.
Okay, so that's District 7. District 1, we have Simi Barnes and Miss Gaskins. Miss Gaskins has said she's not showing up to any forums.
Oh, that's
you know, Simi Barnes, I'm not sure, you know, how that rolls with her. She's going to show up to some forums, but, you know.
Was she quoted? Was Simi Barnes quoted on saying she wasn't showing up?
Off the record.
Oh, okay, well, hey.
She's gonna show up to those those forums that are important. The Davis broadcasting ones with the newspaper, what have you. She's gonna show up to those, but any other ones outside of that.
So what does that mean? You know, what does that mean, and what does that communicate? That you're only going to show up to certain forums, the ones that you deem are important over other ones. Right. You know what I mean? I think you're doing the people a disservice when you do that.
Yesterday we had District 1 in the House, and she said she's not heard from either candidate. Not one of them. So this is a person that's been in the community for over 30 years.
35 plus years.
And she has not seen or heard from any candidate in her community. But both of these candidates are saying that they're knocking on doors and they're walking and they're, you know, meeting people in the community. Well, it's a lot of walking to do, because this lady for 30 years, and she's a voter, she's not seen anything from anybody from District 1.
Listen, and person-to-person contact is what you need. People want to lay eyes on you, look in your eyes and ask questions.
And get a good feeling about if you selling them a dream or if you're telling them the truth. Exactly.
And you should welcome that.
Yeah.
You know,
because they know now. They know. Listen, when she moved to the front seat yesterday to get a good view of one of the candidates, I knew exactly where she was going with that. Because when you've lived enough, you've experienced enough. You know what right looks like, and you know what wrong looks like. And you know when people's selling you a dream, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then,
but you only know if you ask the right questions,
Yeah.
you're doing your due diligence, and you're holding people accountable.
Right.
Other than that, they can sell you a dream. And that's what we have
Right.
going on right now. Folks
Right.
are talking about their morals and values, but they're not actually giving you a concrete plan and knowledge of proving to you how the city works, how
Right.
the city budget works, how economic development works in the city, how public safety works in the city. One the biggest issues facing the city right now.
That was pointed out yesterday. You're not answering the questions. You're going all around what's been asked.
Right.
What is your plan? What is your structure? So for people to think that we are dumb or less than smart as citizens, you got it confused, because we're listening, we're paying attention, and the math is not mathing. And
Well,
people are used to fluff around here, apparently.
Well, politicians, a lot of politicians or candidates are banking on you believing the fluff. They're banking on that you're not being informed. That's why we have the platform that we have, so we can make sure that you're informed, so that you can make, stronger decisions and informed decisions.
District 1, Barnes needs to understand that she needs to be visible to the voters. Listen, she has a confidence in, I guess, whoever's supporting her or whatnot, that maybe she doesn't feel like she has to. She doesn't really have a social media presence. And I've asked about that. She has a website, great. But social media, like showing up, being visible there, because there's different demographics of voters that you need to be able to reach, right? There's a younger demographic, there's the middle age, there's the older. Older people, listen, most of them are on social media, but sometimes you're going to have to put a paper in their hand. You're going to have to go sit on their porch. You're going to have to go talk to them.
Yeah.
And then these younger people that are voters, you're going to have to catch them on social media, TikTok, Instagram, things of that nature. So if your strategy in your campaign is not aligned with that, I'm not sure why you're running. If you think you're going to walk and meet everybody in the community, just by walking, that's not going to work. And you don't have to be on social media. It's not going to work. And get mad, because people get mad when you say things that, they feel like are uncomfortable or, against them. It's not that we're against you. It's that you need to listen and apply some things so that you can be successful. And
again, accountability.
Yeah.
So we want and we need the best candidate for the district. We need the best candidate for mayor. Like, there's no other way around it. And again, if you're just joining us, please explain to us why it seems like the standards are so low in our community.
Right.
It's like we're willing to accept anything.
Right.
And certain people know that, so they can come to your community, do whatever they want, and then leave. They can come to your community, set up business, take the money, and then go and enrich their community.
Right, like Cole.
So
she dressed up as a bunny rabbit for Easter, or she gave us candy for trunk or treat, as if that is enough with your city, with your South Lumpkin Road looking the way that it looks, and your communities looking the way that it looks. That's enough. That's enough for her to be District 7 or to run for mayor. Foolery.
And that's enough for some people, unfortunately.
Foolery.
That's enough, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah, you can show up in a bunny rabbit suit and pass out candy, and folks will vote for you.
And we had a parade. Okay, what is that parade doing for that big mattress that sat on your road for over 3 months? And the trash and the commercial properties and the tires. What is that doing for that? Do you care about those things in your community? The blight that your children are having to walk to school from Eddy to South Columbus to Key, looking at trash and stuff all over the place. Do you care about that part?
Right. Right.
Temporary foolishness.
Right.
So District 3, we have 3 candidates.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Sherry Aaron and Zach Lee. And Dr. Golden.
Dr. Golden, who's the newest person to qualify for city council.
Yes.
District 3. Yeah. So from what I've seen, I don't know much. We still got to do our research and due diligence when it comes to Dr. Golden, because I don't know him. You know what I mean? We do know that the incumbent, Bruce Huff, endorsed him.
Right. But that's not saying much, right? Mr. Huff has done great things for the city. But here on this tail end, you know, that restaurant on Victory Drive,
Velarda.
yes, they received a citation for trimming trees, but they have not helped that small business to have visibility from Victory Drive. So they're hurting that small business.
Yeah.
They did not return Mr. Huff did not return his phone calls, emails, what have you. He had to show up to the public agenda to address this concern. And then it's, oh, I care, but guess what? Here it is months later, and it has not been solved, no solutions in place. So a recommendation from Mr. Huff at this point means a hill of beans, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the incumbent, they can endorse whoever they want to endorse, but this person still needs to be properly vetted.
Right.
Like, you know, yeah, you can endorse this person, but, you know, what's their body of work? What platform are they running on? What have they done in the city?
Hey, Miss Debbie.
Yeah, so we want to know.
Did you hear us talking about you,
Miss
honey?
Debbie, welcome. Yeah, we love Miss Debbie.
Yes.
Yeah, we love Miss Debbie. So welcome to Candid. We appreciate you being here. But yeah, so the candidates. Listen, again, we gotta properly vet the candidates.
Yeah.
We gotta do our part.
Right.
So, but back to District 3 and those that are running, we can start with Zach Lee. People know who he is. Some people doesn't know who he is.
Yeah, I never had heard of him prior to this election.
And I know him because I know him through somebody else. And I've been knowing of him since middle school or high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've known who he was for a long time. Now, but I don't know him as far as him have been doing anything in the city as far as city council, city government, and even in the community. Now, I do know him from entertainment. I do know him from music. I do know him from film. You know, I know that he's done those things. But how do those things transfer over to
budget,
city government,
policy, ordinances, resolutions, things of that nature?
Yeah, and we've seen him so far in how many forums? One. Yeah, and he was invited. He was invited to our forum.
He was invited.
We didn't hear. We didn't. You know, he wasn't there.
Yeah.
You know, for whatever reason, we weren't given a reason why he wasn't there.
Nope.
But yeah, so when we talk about qualifications, when we talk about experience, when we talk about knowledge, Zach Lee, he's not there. He's not there. For me, I want to see, and so when people say things like, I'm not voting for somebody just because they look like me.
This is a prime example.
Right. I agree with that. But yeah, he's not, I feel like he's not a qualified candidate based on his entertainment background. And, you know, yeah, he says that he has a passion for the city and he wants to make change and he wants to do this, he wants to do that. And those things are all fine, good, and well. But there's no experience to draw from. There's no proven methods, strategies, plans in place to bring about change in District 3. So I couldn't vote for Zach Lee.
Yeah, and so for me, when you run your platform and you say, you know, for the past 25 years, things have not been getting done in our district. My question for you, honey, is what have you done to contribute to the 25 years of things that haven't been done? Because again, you don't need a position nor a title in order to get things done in your community. And that's how you prove to me that you are worthy of an elected position, is that you're already doing the work in your community. You see a problem and you provide a solution. So for that, that's one. Two, the confidence is not there. In forums, he's mumbling. His posture is not, you know, that of confidence. We can't expect that you'll sit in city council and you know, lead well or represent well if you can't speak up right now in forums and you can't present yourself as a confident young man in a forum. And then the third thing is that, you know, when you say, you know, education is not there and people don't know things in our side of town in South Columbus, but you're giving misinformation suggesting that on the south side, we don't have ordinances for the grass when in fact we do. We just don't have enforcement. Okay, that's misinformation that you're putting out publicly. So you're telling me that we don't understand and we don't know. In fact, you don't know. You don't have a place of reference. You haven't studied the charter. You haven't studied the ordinances. You don't know what's going on in your community well enough to lead the community, to represent the community. I'm not saying don't ever run, but I'm saying take the time, 1 to 2 years, live in the community, do some stuff, prepare yourself, then run. But just jumping up because mama wants you to run, because somebody in your community wants you to run, is not going to cut it. Because in this day and age, this is 2026, we got AI, we got technology. Like, there's no excuse not to be smart about things.
Right.
And in addition to that, outdated systems or just, talking a good game but not playing one is not going to work, period. So that's my thing for Mr. Lee. Okay. Do I think he should not ever run? No. But do I think he should take some time and prepare? Yes. That's been the whole situation that I feel like is going on in this election season. A lot of people are not preparing.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what it is about Columbus. People just jump in and they don't have things, lined up, dress, any of that thing. Any of that.
Well, it seems to be a problem.
Yeah.
A reoccurring problem for some reason.
Yeah. And then you have Sherry Aaron.
Right.
What's your thoughts?
Right. So I've just met Sherry. You've known her for some time. Y'all go way back for the military. I can see the passion that Sherry has for District 3. I can see that she's, I can see the excitement that she wants to make change in District 3. But from what I've seen in the first, 2 forums? Or was it 2 forums?
Yes.
And she did show up. Yeah, we had a forum yesterday. She was there. She's passionate, but for me, she still needs work. She needs more knowledge of city government. You know what I mean? And like we keep talking about, we cannot afford for somebody. We got to put how we feel about somebody to the side. You know what I mean? And focus on, is the person qualified? Are they knowledgeable? Can they affect change? For me. So if I can't check all 3 of those boxes, I don't feel like you're the person for the job. So for me, Sherry hasn't checked all 3 boxes for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
In the forum yesterday, we asked her some great questions. And again, she's passionate and she's knowledgeable about certain things in the city. But I haven't seen enough for me to be like, yep, she's the right person for District 3.
Okay.
So that's what it is for me.
Okay, well, let's see what this says. A good evening. I know I'm late to the conversation. Many candidates think running for office is easy work until they, easy work. I had to move it up. Easy work until they realize it requires real sacrifices, constant engagement with the community and political season and outside, and a willingness to serve beyond personal interests. It's not just about putting your name on a ballot. It's about being committed to doing the hard work to make your community better, make your community better that you live in. Okay, let's see. Ms. Debbie, they don't have a vision. They don't have solutions for the visions, no plans. Not my vote. Absolutely. So I'm going to go back to Sherry Aaron, right?
Okay.
Because I've known her for more than 20 years as a veteran, I know that if she says something, she will do it.
Okay.
I do know that she is doing the work in the community. I've heard great things about her out there in the community every day, knocking on doors, meeting people. And even before this election season, that's the kind of person she is. She was in barbershops. She was in, she's got her hands in all types of cosmetology, real estate. So there's not many people that she has not met or she does not know or that she's unwilling to know and not willing. She's teachable, she's coachable, and I believe she's doing the work. And when she shows up in her forums, like, she's not giving us fluff. She's giving us specific information. Well, I talked to this citizen, I talked to this neighbor, or I talked to this sheriff, or I talked to this public works person, and this is what I'm working on. And I may not have the answer, but I'm in progress with work, which is more than Mr. Lee has brought to the table since he started running. So in my opinion, at this point, she's at the top for me for District 3. And she knows, and I know, it's not because I know her, because she said it at the forum that sometimes she's cringing because she doesn't know exactly what's going to come out as it regards my thoughts on what she's doing and not doing. So she knows that I will be honest and tell her up front, you got it or you don't. So in my opinion, she's at the top when it comes to District 3. And I do believe that she may not have all of the experience as in the government, things of that nature, but I do know that she will learn it. I do know that she will give it 100%. And she's not the type of person that wants to fail or that's going to sit there and be like, well, woe is me and I don't know and things of that nature. She's going to give it 100%. So that's where I am with Sherry Aaron, because she's doing a lot more work and she's putting in a lot more work than the other candidates at this point for me.
Okay. And if y'all are just joining us, so we're going down a list of candidates for each district. We've already gone over the mayoral candidates. We've already gone over City Council District 7 candidates. We've gone over City Council District 1 candidates. And now we're talking about District 3. And y'all can put in the comment section, please, about, what you know about the candidates.
Yeah.
Their strengths, their weaknesses, what you've seen. Are they qualified? Do you feel like they're not qualified? So, this is all about, we want open dialogue.
Yeah, because we all have to vote informed and we have to make the right decision.
For sure.
And, again, all of these candidates, they represent us no matter if they're in our district or not. Their votes matter and they represent us and they affect us.
Right.
So the last person in that district is Dr. Golden.
Right, but before we move over to Dr. Golden, let me say one last thing about Sherry Aaron.
Both of them showed us exactly who they are at the forum. Okay.
Yeah. So, for me, for Sherry, she's confident. She speaks up. And she's sincere. Right. So I give her that she's sincere. I can tell that she's passionate. I believe her. She is in the community. She is doing the work. Yeah. But again, for me, I still haven't seen the knowledge of how the city government works. I still haven't seen a clear, concrete plan that she's planning to, implement when she if she gets elected in office. And what was the other thing? I think those were the public safety. I think those were like the main things for me. Right.
Well, it's a dire need for people that are going to be responsive, accessible, and available in District 3. And I think she checks all of those boxes for me. I feel like right now people can't get a hold of Mr. Huff. They're not getting responses from Mr. Huff. He does not answer phone calls. He answers phone calls for certain people, not everybody. And then he doesn't respond to emails, and there's small businesses who are suffering in his district where he's nonchalant. That's not going to be the case with Sherry Aaron. So that I believe wholeheartedly. Back to Dr. Golden, who's the latest candidate, and like you said, he was endorsed by Mr. Huff. So my thing with Mr. Golden, he brings substance to the race. He has a PhD, he's a principal, he's a pastor, he's doing great things as far as teacher scholarships. All of that is wonderful, but guess what? He works more than 100 miles away from Columbus as a principal, Monday through Friday, and unless I learned something different, because he was also invited to the forum, he did not respond at all. Unless I learned something different, Monday through Friday as a principal, he has no time to answer phone calls, return emails during normal business hours for citizens. If there's meetings in the city that he needs to be present for, he cannot be there. Like how we're having these PAC meetings and things of that nature, he cannot be present, he cannot defend, he cannot speak up for his constituents because he's over 100 miles away in Alabama. So that's just the facts, and that's just an issue. Because right now, District 3 has suffered with neglect and not having someone who's accessible, able to return phone calls, emails, and handle things in real time. Right. And I can't see that he would have that time either as a principal.
I agree. If you're going to run for city council, you got to have the time. There's no way around it. Or working an hour plus away, working as a principal, yeah, that's a tedious, that's a taxing job.
Yeah.
You know, working in the school system,
yeah,
especially as a principal, that's a taxing job. So, and I still got some research to do on Mr. Golden, because Dr. Golden. I still have some, so the jury for me is still out on him.
It's not out for me because I
well,
know you can't work more than 100 miles away from the city, Monday through Friday. If I need to call you at 9 o'clock, you can't answer my phone. If I need to call you at 12, 2, or 3, you can't answer my phone. You can't return my emails because you own somebody else's time. And that's unethical to be handling somebody else's business while you're getting paid to do somebody else's business, you see?
Yeah.
So that leaves him to that Saturday, Sunday, and he's a pastor, time. That's not enough time to support the needs in District 3.
Listen, his plate is full.
That part for me, and that's just like common sense. Like when you look at it, if it was just in black and white, you don't have the time. Period.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way around it. Like, his plate is full. There's no way you can serve your constituents effectively if you don't even have time.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
you're dedicated Monday through Friday.
Right. That's a concern for us. But like I said, I have to do more. We haven't heard from him yet. We haven't seen him in a forum. We haven't heard him talk. I haven't seen any interviews. But please put in the comment section if you guys know anything about.
Here, Zach, my boy, we did a movie together. However, he's non-confrontational. Like, what does that have to do with being non-confrontational? Have to do with being a leader now?
Well, listen, you got to be approachable.
Tell me, Mr. Hampton, what does that got to do with being a leader?
Yeah, and this is like, again, if you reasonable people know these are not personal attacks. Either you're qualified to do the job or you're not. Yeah. And we know what the qualifications are, and we're holding up the resume to see if you're qualified. And yeah, Zach is not, he's not qualified.
Okay, District 1, I missed District 1 conversation. I had voted in District 1 for 32 years. I have not had a conversation with District 1 candidate. We did mention that. We can't assume that voters can make an informed decision for this election. You're absolutely correct. If they're not showing up to forums, if they have publicly suggested that they're not going to be at forums, and then they have not even knocked on your door, then that's a vote that they're missing out on.
Exactly.
Because they're choosing not to show up to forums where people are going to come out, collectively and try to hear what they have to say. Right. Hey Sherry, how you doing, honey?
Yeah.
I am Sherry Aaron. If anyone would like to sit with me for coffee, I'd love to meet with you at your home or somewhere convenient for you in your neighborhood. You can reach me by phone. Please visit. Absolutely. And like I said, we got one candidate that is just not qualified, Zach Lee, and then we have another who is just not available, accessible, or anything as a principal. And plus, he works over 100 miles away. So what happens when, are you going to take Tuesdays off once a month to do the council meetings? How are you going to prepare? What time are you going to have to prepare and reading the public agenda and all those things, plus getting back to your constituents? You don't have time.
Well,
you don't have time.
The jury's still out for me.
You don't have time.
Because I need to hear his plan. I need to hear, we haven't heard his plan. Maybe he has a plan.
As a person in the education field, honey, he's not going to have time. And then, so he didn't make it to the forum on the other day. That was at 4 p.m. Right. So that's probably because that's a travel from wherever he's coming from. He didn't make it on time, or whoever knows. I don't know, but he didn't make it. He did not respond at all for our forum, and he'll probably be at some other forums. However, his first priority is being a principal, and I don't see him resigning from a 6K job to be a city council person. You see what I'm saying? So I get you still need to learn, but I'm there. He's not it.
And like we talk about, so voters voters need to be informed.
Yeah.
We need to hear from these people. So
Right.
for a candidate to discount a forum, that speaks
Right.
volumes to me.
Right.
But I want to at least hear from him because maybe he does have a plan. So I don't want to prejudge him. I'm want to give him
It's
the
just
benefit
facts,
of the doubt.
honey. It's facts.
Well,
Monday through Friday, from a set time, you can't be on the phone. You can't be emailing citizens. You don't
Right.
have time. Then you got to drive, if you're driving back to Columbus, because you could have an apartment or something in Alabama.
okay.
If you're driving back, that's a good hour or so drive to get back to Columbus. Will you make it to city council meetings on time? You know, will you take off every Tuesday of the month to make that 9 a.m.? And when are you going to prepare on top of being a pastor and everything else that you got going on being a principal? So that's to me, that's just, it's too much. It's too much. And he could have a plan, but I don't think so. I don't think you can, you know, add more on to that, especially for the needs of what District 3 needs.
Well, I'm going to let you land your plane. And then I'm
Okay, let's see.
gonna get you to-
Meaning he's not what D3 needs at the moment. Someone that's going to listen to people and speak up for them. Honestly, we are up the creek without a paddle with this election.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not.
In some areas, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but people got to do the work.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
people got to do the work.
And those are the things you really have to look at. When you're looking at each candidate, you got to look at, and I would say, you know, the person has to have time. In this day and age, you can't sit here and make no excuses that it's only a part-time position. I'm only getting part-time pay. Well, don't sign up. Don't sign up if you don't have time, because we don't want to hear those excuses.
It's time out for excuses.
If you making a choice to serve the people, then that means you've got to make the time, have the time, and be accessible. It's time out for people having to come to a public agenda and say, hey, you never return my phone calls or you never return my emails. And here it is months later, point in time for that business on Victory Drive, and they've still not received any help, but they didn't waste no time giving them a citation.
Right. Right.
I don't like
and it's
that.
likely they got the citation because the incumbent didn't respond
In the first place.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So
I don't like that.
yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So moving on to District 9.
District 9 we go.
Okay.
District 9 is
Woo.
it's tough.
Whew.
It's tough.
District 9. Listen, how many people is a new person, Mr. Wright, Pastor Wright?
Yeah. And
We
we
got-
don't know him yet.
Yeah, we don't know him yet.
Yeah, so
we got
we're still-
Dr. Marsh.
Yeah. Dr.
We got
Marsh.
Dr. Van Dorn.
Yeah, who was at the forum yesterday.
We got
We'll get into that.
Anchor.
Yeah. John
And
Anchor.
we got Dr. Cook.
Dr. Cooks.
That's everybody?
Yes.
All right. How many people is that? 5?
I think so. And put in the comment section if we forgot anybody or left anybody out.
Yeah.
And if you're just joining us, please share this. Share this with your friends and family. That's the only way that the information is going to get out. And that's the only way that people are going to understand who's running.
Yes,
And
have
what-
your conversation.
Right.
Somebody came up to me and said they have been back and forth, up and down with friends they've known for years
Yeah.
over to some of the things that we have shared and talked about. And that's what it's all about,
Right.
right? We don't want groupthink. We don't want conformity. We want people to use critical thinking,
Right.
and we want to raise the standard of what's acceptable in our communities.
Right. And I'm going to ask the question
He said,
again.
did y'all do 7? We did, Mr. Hampton. We did.
We did. So yeah, Becca Zajac, District 7. We have Lakeitha Ash, District 7. And
Miss Richardson.
Miss Richardson, District 7. So yeah, if you missed that, you know, of course you can go back and watch this. But yeah, those are the 3 candidates who qualify. Of course, qualifying is over. Whoever's in the race, that's who's in the race.
Right. Back to District 9.
Back to District 9.
All right.
So
So, Mr. Anchor, we start with Mr. Anchor.
we can start with Mr. Anchor.
That gentleman's agreement, he just was out the window with that. And we knew that. If anybody had common sense, we already knew that Mr. Anchor wasn't going anywhere. He wanted the seat.
Man.
They gave him the seat. He's had a taste and see that it was good. And he's going to run again. We knew that. But will he make it? Will he be in the top for District 9?
No.
You don't think so?
He
I
will
do
not.
think so. I
He will-
think,
Well, will he be in the top?
yes.
Top what?
Top 2 or whatever, runoff or whatever for District 9, I do believe he will.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I do.
I think he'll be in the top 3. But I don't think he's going to be in the runoff.
Well,
and I say that because the people have spoken already. This is not his first rodeo. This is his, 3rd time running?
They need him, honey. They need him.
I get it. I get it. But they can't convince the people of that, though. Because, like I said, the proof is in the pudding, and the people have already spoken. They don't want John Anker's leadership.
Listen.
For whatever reason, they don't want it.
But the people do. The city council does, right? So if he has endorsed Kogel, you got Kogel, Hickey, you got Tucker. All of them have formed a coalition. And who else? You got Crab,
right? And
you have the other 2. They couldn't be at her
Davis.
Thing because it would have been a
quorum,
right? So, but that's about 6 or 7 council members who there's some back behind the door closed deals. They may give him the support he needs because they want him in that seat, and he delivered what they asked him to do when they brought him in the first place, honey. So that's all I'm saying. I think that's what they have going for them.
No, because again, even if those are facts. Everything you just named, that's a fact. He was a hired gun. He came in to help get rid of the city manager, and they succeeded in doing that. With that being said, they used him for what they needed him for, and they're done with him. That's what I believe. I think they sold this man a dream. Like,
I don't think so.
He got to temporarily be in that seat and fulfill his goal of being on city council. He was a hired gun. He came in, helped get rid of the city manager, and now they're going to be.
They owe him though. They owe him. They're not done with him. I'm just saying. And,
the people have spoken. They don't want his leadership.
Mr. Alton Russell said he was doing a good job. That's the king of the GOP for this area. He said he was doing a good job in the comments on social media. They may put him right back in there, honey.
You heard it.
And this is how I feel about that, right? They can't trust Dr. Marsh. They don't know if he's going to get up there and do what they want him to do.
Hold on. We got to finish with Mr. Anker.
I'm done with Mr. Anker. Yeah.
Okay, so let me give my final thoughts on Mr. Anker.
Okay.
Again, Mr. Anker has proven, the people have proven that they don't want his leadership. Okay, and they got an up close look of what he's about and what he's going to do if he's elected. And based on what he's done, I can't see, and I choose to believe that there are more people who want
against him.
No, there's more people who are for collaboration. There's more people who are for equality. There's more people who want to see a difference in the city move in a positive direction than not. And John Anker represents a demographic of people who does not want to see the city move forward in a positive direction. And based on that, and based on his previous elections that he ran for, they didn't vote for him. They didn't put him in office. So for me, that speaks volumes. I don't care what he was used for. He served his purpose, and they're going to get him out of there.
Well, they've had an opportunity to see, and I feel like it's going to be a tough call.
What say you? Put in the comment section. What do y'all believe about John Anker? Is he a great fit?
Goodness.
Is he going to help move the city forward? We've already seen.
We didn't say he was a great fit and he was going to move the city forward.
Well, I'm just asking.
We didn't want him to be in the seat in the first place, but there are people who would have him be there at this point.
Well, of course, because he helped. He helped their cause.
They owe him, honey.
But the general consensus in the city. The people don't want this man.
They owe him, though. Them folks up there owe him. That's why he's running, because they owe him. Owe him.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But they don't speak louder than the people.
So who's going to be your top 3? Who's going to be your top 3?
For District 9 city? So, based on what I heard from Dr. Van Doren yesterday, I would say he's going to be the front runner. Then you'll have... I think it's going to be Dr. Van Doren, it'll be John Anker, and then it'll be Dr. Marsh.
Okay.
Then Dr. Cooks will bring up the rear. That's how I see it.
And what about the new person, Wright? Is he coming in too late to make an impact?
Not necessarily. Well, yes and no.
We got to learn a little bit more about him.
Right, yeah, the jury's still out on him. So we'll circle back around next week about Mr. Wright.
He said, nope about what, Mr. Hampton? So listen, I think Mr. Anchor is going to be riding high and to the top, honestly, because they owe him. He delivered.
You keep saying
that
they owe him.
And I'm telling you, the GOP has paid attention. He's been a good boy for them. Mr. Alton Russell has blessed his services so far, and they want to see that kind of candidate that they can trust in the seat. Now, will African American people vote for him? Heck no.
Yeah, they will.
No. Who's going to vote for him?
There's African American people that are voting for Joanne Cogle. You don't think they're going to vote for John Anchor too?
Well, not after how he got in there.
And it's not about African American versus white. For me, it's about who's qualified. It's about who has the experience and the right person for the job. I don't care what you look like. Are you the right person for the job? Are you the right person to help move the city forward and get rid of the foolishness that's going on up there?
I'm not in Columbus, and I know they don't want Anchor.
Thank you, sir.
But we didn't want him in the first
Thank
place.
you, sir.
But they still made a way for him to get in that seat.
He was just a pawn, though.
But,
he was just a pawn.
They
used him. No.
They owe him. Mr. George and Dr. Natalie has a point in reference to those in power. Yeah, they owe him, honey.
I don't know. I don't disagree that they don't owe him. I don't disagree with that point.
You know how they have collaborated and said, if I do this,
No.
you gotta do this.
No.
Yeah.
Because they could have did. They had plenty of chances to do that though.
This is their chance now. He needs their votes.
They could have did that last election. When
They didn't want him then. They didn't want to use him then, honey.
So whatever issue they had with the city manager didn't just pop up.
Yeah,
this is something they've been working on. I don't think they just started working on this recently.
Yeah. Between mid 2025 to right now. Well, when did he get terminated?
2025.
Yeah, so between the early parts then to mid, it wasn't nothing before that, prior to that.
I think there was something behind closed doors, but this is me personally. I think this is something that's been, they've been working on for a while, and they were trying to figure out how to make this happen, and then they were finally got the opportunity to make it happen.
Okay.
But like I said, they could have had John Anchor in there 2 elections ago, because he ran for city council at large and lost. And then he also ran for mayor, right?
And I'm confused as to why, he's like LaJoy, that he's a GOP for them, but they don't trust him or they won't put him in seats, but they want to use Congo. Like, that doesn't make any sense. The less than smart person of all of them.
To my point, listen, the city, they don't want him. The city has spoken. They don't want him, regardless of what he did or how he helped to terminate the city manager. They don't want him.
Okay, so in my opinion, he's going to be at the top. Right? Dr. Marsh seems like his race is strong this time around, and that he has a lot of support from the African American community, and that he's been doing whatever he needs to do in the white community and in the Colga community. Colga gay, how do you say that? Colga gay community? The LGBT
I'm not familiar.
Q plus community. So he's forming those coalitions and those different parts and things in the community. So I think he has a strong contender in the race. And then not so much for Dr. Cook. I think she's going to be at the bottom of the race. I don't know about Mr. Wright, the new person. Got to get to know him a little better. Dr. Van Dorn.
Okay.
That would be my pick for this seat.
Okay.
He's measured. He's got the experience in political science. He has demonstrated through the years leadership as a chair in the Democratic Party. He's well known in the community for the most part for his service to the community. And he's just knowledgeable, and he's grounded and measurable, and I feel like he would represent us well in that seat. However, I do not believe that he's doing the work like he needs to in order to be effective. And
meaning, like, what specifically is he not doing?
So yeah, that's me not being with him 24/7 and not knowing how many doors he's knocking on, not knowing how many town halls he's having, just viewing his social media and just hearing him yesterday say that he's been in the community riding his bikes and things of that nature, but not knowing that he has been effective in his grassroots campaign, because at large, that's the entire city. So that's my only concern. I believe he would be the perfect candidate, elected official for District 9 over all of the rest of them. However, you know, people like optics, they like pictures, they're everywhere. And so, you know, sometimes that seems to outshadow what is really good for what we need. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. And yeah, I agree. Dr. Van Doren, it will be my choice for City 9 at large, because he's knowledgeable about the city budget. He's knowledgeable about city government. He has a concrete plan and vision
Right.
that he can lay out plainly and make clearly.
Right.
He understands economic development. He's already been doing things grassroots and been in the community doing things that lets me know. And you can look him up for yourself. And not just him, look up all of the candidates and kind of get, you know, an idea of their body of work. But for me, he's smart, you know what I mean? And I believe that he would get in there and not be a part of the foolery.
The foolery, right.
Yeah, I think he'll get in there and do what's right.
Right.
And
right.
I believe he's sincere, and I believe him.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I had a really great feeling meeting him in person, listening to the substance of what he brought to the table, right? No fluff, facts, you know, and very just well knowledged and educated on what's going on in our city. And he's not afraid to call out the facts of what's going on. He sees it for what it is. Grandstanding, I heard, you know, things of that nature, you know, political theater. We don't have time for that. You know, we don't have time for that.
Right.
Please post these questions and answers from your forum. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We're gonna share the video footage.
Yeah. So you can actually
and
see
all that good stuff like that.
Right.
Yes. So let me see. So based on the footwork, who do you got? And then you have Rocky R. Marsh. That's who you're voting for, Mr. Hampton. Is Mr. Marsh? That's not my goal. That's not my vote.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, put in the comment section, you know, educate us on what you know of the candidates and what they've done previously, their knowledge of city government, and what they're, you know, lay out the facts of
parties
what some
and
of these
Mardi
candidates
Gras
have done.
and stuff like that. That's not leadership to me. That's not demonstrated leadership. You know, showing yourself picking up trash in a grocery bag, you know, before an event. That's not leadership. Showing yourself changing a light bulb at a church or wherever is not leadership. So those are all just optics and just opportunities for you to try to prove and convince people that you're community service oriented. But again, what are real things that you can demonstrate that you have done in the community on a consistent basis outside of parties and events that show leadership? Okay, you know, I'm not for anybody can have a party. Anybody can do events, and anybody can, you know, make these photo ops or whatever about, you know, well, look at me picking up trash. Yeah. What are you doing on a consistent basis in our communities? Pandering, just like some of the other elected officials, and putting yourself and attaching yourself to different organizations during election season, taking more pictures than doing work. Listen, you gotta look through the fluff and see the substance. And yeah, we can talk about my other experiences as it regards with you know, stuff later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. For me, as it regards Dr. Marsh, I haven't seen what I want to see from a candidate, which is knowledge of the city government, knowledge of city government, knowledge of public safety, a clear, concrete plan and vision that you have for the city. I haven't seen it.
Right. Showing up and being everywhere means nothing, you know. And even some people have told us, like, you're there, but you're on your phones, or you're recording, or you're doing content more so than anything, you know, that's concrete. And then when, you know, I check out your webpage and you have a blog that says, I'm not going to say anything negative or, you know, criticize city council. Well, we need to know what you feel about or what you understand about what's going on. And you can't be afraid to speak up. And if you're afraid to speak up now, then guess what? You're likely to cower in that seat. You're likely not to represent the people. You're likely to go along to get along. And that's not the type of leadership that we want in District 9.
Yeah, and I haven't been convinced of why, people should vote for you. Yeah, I'm not
Too
convinced.
bad, Mr. Hampton. He says he lives in Alabama. His business is in D7, but he can't vote. Okay. Too bad.
Yeah, but we still want to hear your thoughts and your opinions.
You're still
about each
part
candidate.
of the community.
Yeah, we still would love to hear, what you think about the candidates and that's running for District 9.
Right.
So
and then too, like, with these people who have jobs that are going to make them not accessible to people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how you work and you're always all over the place. Well, I don't know what kind of job you have where you're all over the place and you're always taking pictures. I don't know. But, Dr. Cook has a business. She's a dentist owner.
Yeah.
And so that's not likely that she's going to be accessible to answering phone calls, emails, and things of that nature. Because prior to this election, I have not seen her in the community, really doing anything or what have you. So, yeah, she's got a, and we haven't seen her in the forum yet either. No.
So, the jury's still out on her about what she brings to the table.
It ain't out for me.
Well, I want to actually hear from her. You know what I mean? So
I heard enough when we were sitting at the table, and she said she had been promoted to another table. There was a promotion or there was a status or whatnot in the group or the place we were at. Like, that's enough for me. That's enough.
The jury's still out for me. Like, I want to actually hear from the candidates. So the forum we did yesterday, we got to actually ask the hard questions and get an understanding of what these candidates know, and to see if they're really serious about, affecting change in the city.
Yeah.
So, but I haven't heard from her. So I'm still looking for.
It starts not with what you're doing now in election season, but what you have, what you have been doing this whole time, this past 3 years or what have you, while people were in office. That's what we're looking at. Yeah,
and then too, a knock against her for me is, you're right. Being a dentist and having to run a business, I'm not sure you're going to be able to be accessible.
Yeah.
And have the time to be effective.
Yeah. And so we see that clearly as a problem right now. You have people complaining that they don't make enough or they don't have enough time. Mm-hmm. So clearly we're not going to vote people in who have full-time jobs or are not available to be able to be accessible to citizens. Like, you need to be able to demonstrate that you're going to have time to return phone calls, emails, things of that nature, period.
Yeah.
Let's see. I asked the candidate from District 7 about her age. She was offended. Her answer was, what does age have to do with it? Dr. Natalie shared it was not a negative. I simply wanted to commend her that I am proud of the young people who are stepping up to be leaders. Right. She automatically took it as maybe possibly a negative thing. Mm-hmm. But, I knew when you were asking that it was not from a negative place.
Yeah.
And then, that's how I feel about my boy, Zach. As for being strong when it counts, I can see where y'all are coming from. Okay. And it's okay, yeah. So that's District 9. That's everybody? We did District 9. We did
Cooks,
7.
Van Dorn, Marsh, Anchor.
Right, it's the new person.
Yeah, so that's everybody.
Yeah, so we did all of the districts. We did the mayor. And then now to transition to the forum, our perspective on how people did for the forum on yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, we had I missed a treat. And again, these forums are for the city. People got to show up. You're not showing up for us.
Right.
Whoever's hosting the forum, you're not showing up for them.
Right.
You're showing up to actually put eyes on the candidate, to put a face with a name, and to properly vet the candidate so we can see who's serious and who's not.
Right.
And who's the best person for the job. You know what I mean? So people got to show up.
And so there was a lot of things going on yesterday. People had previous engagements.
No, that's no excuse.
Wait. Listen. People had previous engagements. Some people were not going to come. Like, Dr. Bryant, she was not coming. Crab, she was not coming. Kogel was not coming. LaJoy was not coming. And I'm going to say Mr. Zach Lee was not coming either, right? He was not going to come. And these are people who struggle with, confidence and accountability.
Okay.
We kind of chuckled when we sent them their invitations, but we wanted to be fair across the board.
Yeah, give everybody the opportunity.
And give everybody the opportunity. And if you put yourself out there as a leader and as someone that's going to be representing everybody or anybody, then you have to be able to, withstand what comes with leadership. Some people, like Mr. Hughley, had an event on yesterday.
Yeah.
He let us know that. Let me see who else. Lakeitha was in Paris. She let me know that. The people who just started running, they were not ready to come out. They let me know that in District 7, Miss Richardson. Who else was there? Simi Barnes, she was not able to come. Miss Gaskins says she's not doing forums. Who else? Was that by everybody? Dr. Golden didn't respond at all.
Yeah.
And
I think that was everybody.
I think that's everybody,
yeah.
Right? But what that allowed for is for us to have a real,
Dr.
thorough.
Marsh, he didn't.
Oh yeah, he had somewhere else to be or what have you. He wasn't going to come either. What that allowed for us to do is have a good, thorough conversation.
Yeah.
Right? And what I like about the different forums and what they offer is like the one that the Second Chance offers, she really focuses on the second chances for, and I don't want to get this wrong because she said there's different language now, inmates, and as they transition into civilian. So it was very informative. She provides a lot of information about, the issues and concerns of people trying to get jobs once they have transitioned out of, being an inmate or what have you, or being in jail. And so her care and core was, will you support this? Will you support that? We have specific questions, structured towards what's actually going on in city council right now, what's actually challenges in the city, and different forums are going to allow citizens to have an opportunity to see different perspectives from the candidates. And so it's so important that you get an opportunity to go, because like our focus wasn't on second chances and getting out of jail. Ours was on the data center. It was on public safety. It was on the mess that we're seeing right now in city council, the unprofessionalism, the lack of emotional intelligence.
Right.
It was it was geared towards those things. And so with that, we started with Mr. Watkins.
Right. So we forgot to talk about Mr. Watkins, who's running for District 5. We didn't mention him. But yeah, Mr. Watkins, Mr. Patrick Watkins, right? Is
Robert.
Mr. Robert Watkins. He's running for District 5. He's an attorney. If you don't know who he is, make sure you look him up. Do your due diligence. But he's running for District 5 against Charmaine Crabb, and he was a part of the forum yesterday. And he was actually the first candidate, in the slot that was allotted for him. And my assessment of Mr. Watkins is that he's very knowledgeable. I mean, he's an attorney, so he's smart. He has a great understanding of city government. We asked him questions regarding public safety. We asked him questions regarding economic development. And he answered each question clearly, concisely.
Yes, he
laid it
brought
out.
Clarity that the city council has not brought as elected officials, as our city elected officials.
So can I land my plane?
I'm just saying that. I was just want to say that was great.
Can I land my plane?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So yeah, but Mr. Watkins, I think, for me, he's the better candidate for District 5, hands down. Like, you know what I mean? And that's why it's so important to come to these forums so that you can hear what the candidates are saying. But and we're gonna play the clips from the forum yesterday. But I was impressed. He's knowledgeable. He understands city government. He answered each question with ease. He helped us understand his vision and his plan for the city if he were to be elected in District 5. So for me, District 5 needs Mr. Watkins.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just, what you said, he brought so much clarity to some things that are confusing for citizens. And if you cannot do that as an elected official, we don't need you in the seat. Period. Right? So he talked about the jail, and he talked about that might be an unpopular vote but why it was necessary. And that is why we need council members who are not just going to sit up there and vote, but they're going to consider their constituents. They're going to lay out, okay, these are the pros and the cons, and then they're going to make a decision based on, the expertise that they bring to the table and the bigger picture of what's going on. So how many of you knew that we invested $50 million for that baseball situation to get a return of a $400 million development in that area? How many people knew that?
Listen, how many of you have been to a Clingstone game? Please put it in the comment section. How many of you think that the baseball team and field was a great idea? How many of you voted in favor of it? And if you've been to a game? And
how many of you knew that it was an investment to get a turnaround of a $400 million development situation in that area? Now, what I would say is that in that development, they should have included the McClung Stadium.
Yeah,
they should have included the McClung Stadium in that $400 million development, getting it taken care of, including it to whatever they were going to do in the area. But I'd just like to know how many people knew that, because I feel like that was some important information that was missing. All we knew is you have invested $50 million into a baseball. A lot of people don't watch baseball. Some people do. How many teams have we had in this city that's been here and gone? So it seemed like a bad investment. But when you turn around and say somebody's coming in with $400 million development because of that baseball, that kind of gives you a different perspective. What you think?
I think so. I mean, I was against, and I'm still against Synovus Park. I mean, we can agree to disagree. I don't think there's other ways you can go about bringing in investors and bringing in money to the city. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
but I'm just making the note that who knew that? Who knew that's why they invested the $50 million, and what we're getting from that is the $400 million, investment.
Right. Like I said, he's very knowledgeable, and he understands what's going on in the city.
Yeah. And that was good. That was good to know and understand that he does have. Yeah. Right.
So
we really need District 5 to be replaced.
Mr. Watkins is it. Now, as far as his campaign goes, he needs some work. A lot of work in that area, because not a lot of people. Put in the comment section if you know who he is. Robert Watkins, who's running for District 5.
Yeah.
He needs more visibility.
Put in the work.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot of work.
Yeah, but great session, very thorough, very measured, very grounded, very what we're looking for moving forward. Emotional, intelligent, and just not up there for a hidden agenda or grudge or the type of person that would, jump on board, us against them type situation. So very good for me.
Yeah, and based on the questions that we asked and based on what we saw, he would be a great candidate for District 5.
Yeah.
Of course, we can't 100% know what somebody's going to do when they get there.
Right.
But you got to properly vet these people and make the best decision you can based on the questions that you ask.
Right, and he was very knowledgeable about a lot of things as it regards the budget, as it regards sound decision making and being prepared for meetings. Right, he wanted to talk about cutting out all of this talking that happens with Mr. Davis on and on and on. And he also, it was in that session that we mentioned how, there's all this talking and then, people are gone or missing when it comes time for public agenda and listening to the citizens. And so he's paying attention. He's mindful, and that's great. You want me to read these comments?
Yeah.
Okay. Miss Ash, I really hate that I missed the forum yesterday due to prior travel engagement, but I'm definitely open to meeting and sharing and hearing from anyone regarding District 7 and discussing any questions or concerns. Can we please talk about these at-large candidates? Let's see, incarcerated.
Listen, we have, but we'll double
incarcerated, formerly incarcerated Mr. Kelly. Thank you. Y'all questions were awesome. Let's see. Is the live available on FB to watch? We are unable to attend. Appreciate the both of you. have to hop off and I will watch the replay. Okay, the people who want the baseball field are trying to relive their childhood. Laugh out loud, Miss Debbie. Yes, it's Watkins a at-large candidate. He was for District 5. District 5.
Yeah.
Yes, he was our first interview session of the day.
Yeah. Listen, Lakeitha, you missed the treat. Listen, we would have loved to have had you in the forum. We understand you had, prior obligations. But yeah, you can go watch the playback. We'll put it on Facebook.
It's not available yet unless she's in our Candid Conversation group. Then you have access to it.
Yeah. But yeah, we had a great time. And again, these forums are for the city. These forums are for the citizens and the constituents to come out and look these candidates in the eye and ask real questions.
Right.
Real questions to properly see, who's serious and who's not, who's the best person for the seat. So.
Right. And he did an excellent job, very thorough, very knowledgeable. And so, yeah. And, very good. Next person was Sherry Aaron, District 3.
But I thought we already gave our...
Honey, this is for the forum.
Okay.
You are something else.
Okay.
Sherry came. Sherry had been in the community that day out canvassing or spending time with the community. And she had another event to go to. So she didn't spend the whole hour and 30 minutes with us. She spent about 30 minutes with us. And we had an opportunity. You'll get a chance to see the footage to ask her why her. And she said, why not her? And, answered the question there. And she was also knowledgeable about, she was asked about data center, and she was asked about a specific situation in her community where the police had came out and they were unprofessional with one of the citizens, and just how she would handle that. So you'll get an opportunity to see her responses and things of that nature on how she handled that. But again, all of the candidates for District 3 were invited. Sherry was the only one to show up, and Mr. Zach, no, and Mr. Golden didn't respond at all.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you missed it earlier, we talked about the candidates for District 3. So yeah, Sherry Aaron, she showed up yesterday, and for me, Sherry Aaron is confident. Sherry Aaron is passionate. Sherry Aaron is in the community. And she's been in Columbus now for how long?
18 years.
18 years. So, I believe her when she says she wants to do great things in Columbus and affect change on city council. But what I want to see from Sherry is her knowledge of city government, because from what I've heard, I don't believe she's knowledgeable enough for me for me to be like, okay, yeah, she's the best candidate for the job. When it comes to public safety, when it comes to economic development, and when it comes to being well versed in local politics or city government. I'm not convinced.
Well, I'm convinced that she's a fast learner and that she's going to get what she needs to get in order to be high speed in those areas. With her military experience, with her serial business experience, with her demonstrated, a leadership in the community, ability to get things done, ability to meet no stranger, and her accessibility, she's at the top in District 3 for me as candidates. Mr. Lee is at the very bottom as a no-go. He should have withdrawn. He shouldn't have paid his $360 to be running.
Well, I wouldn't say he should have withdrawn.
He should not have paid his $360. Okay. I wouldn't have wasted the money. And then with Dr. Golden, again, he's a principal. He's a pastor. Monday through Friday, his time is going to be tied up being a principal. He can't answer phone calls. He can't respond to emails during that time. That's unethical. Yeah. So he has the evenings. He has the weekends. And so we don't want another situation like what we have right now with Mr. Huff. So that makes, he's not a front runner for me for District 3. So when you look at the three candidates that you do have that are running, Sherry's at the top. She's accessible. She's available. She's doing the work. She's been here for 18 years in that district, which those two other candidates, we cannot say that they've been in District 3 for 18 years straight. So that's my take on that. And thank you for coming out and showing up. Next one was who?
You are something else.
Who was the next one, honey?
So next we had so District 3, we did District 3, we did District 5.
Becca. It was District 7.
District 7, yeah. So
All
from
right.
District 7, Becca Zajac showed up. Of course, Lakeitha couldn't be there. She had a prior engagement. And
Ms. Richardson just qualified on Friday.
So I don't even think the email went out to her.
No.
Yeah.
I met her on Friday. I did allow her to know if she wanted to come, she could. But of course, just now signing up, she, needs some time.
Yeah. So Becca Zajac, she's not a Columbus native, but so she said she's been in the city for 10 years.
10 years.
She's from Detroit. And she's from Michigan. I don't know about what city, but she's from Michigan. And from what I heard from Becca, she's knowledgeable. She's already boots on the ground. She's sincere. She's passionate. She understands city government. So for me, she's one of the best candidates in District 7. Based on the forum that we had yesterday. She answered the questions with knowledge. She laid out her plan for the city and her vision for District 7. And I believe that she's sincere. I honestly believe that she's passionate. Now, on the flip side of that, the question was asked about her being able to relate to her constituents or to citizens in Oakland Park, on South Lumpkin Road, and some of these areas that are marginalized and alienated.
Have been neglected.
Yeah, and that, to me, that's the knock on her, because people don't know her. South Columbus does not know her. Certain parts of District 7 know who she is, but those are the people who are not being neglected or left behind. So, yeah, so that's my knock on Becca. I think she did a great job in the forum. I think she is a good candidate for District 7. So yeah, that's my take on her.
Okay. So y'all know me. I was Becca who and Becca what.
Right.
When she first came on the scene as a candidate for District 7. When I met her on yesterday, she did not disrupt my spirit. Right?
Okay.
She was genuine. She came in confident. This is what sold it for me, right? I asked some of the candidates about that Columbus, that 311 Columbus app, right? To demonstrate that they have already been doing the work. And people who can pass by in their community things, blight, tires, trash, and not put in a request or not get it fixed or things of that nature, listen, don't run. Don't run for office. Because if you're not exercising leadership right now and you can pass by things and allow it to stay and not do anything about it, that's a deal breaker for me. So when Becca said that she had that app and she was like the queen of requests and that she was boots on the ground with helping neighbors take trees, limbs, whatever the city said they were not able to do because it was a mixture of what have you. Listen, I was sold, because that's the type of leadership that we want in District 7. People who are not afraid to roll up the sleeves and put in the work. And that's what she communicated to me, that she understood that she does not know all of the African American people. She has not been on, in the community like she possibly could. But is she unwilling? No. She communicated and demonstrated to me that she's a go-getter. That she's gonna get in the trenches, she's gonna figure it out, she's gonna learn, she wants to learn, and that she's very knowledgeable about the plans that are coming to District 7, South Lumpkin Road. She has relationships in government to get things done, things of that nature, and all of those are a plus for me. It's about making sure we get people in the office who are actually going to do the work and who's doing the work now. And I was very clear on that. also I was very clear, she said she's felt uncomfortable in certain spaces because of the color of her skin. And it's not so much about the color, it's about having the conviction, to be able to, have empathy and have a place of reference for what people have experienced in these communities. And that's what it's going to take. People who are willing to fight.
Yeah.
You don't have the experience, you don't have the background. So are you still able and willing to fight? Because we do not want another 3 years of Kogel. We don't want that at all. And so, I left listening to her, being satisfied, script or not, what she brought to the table. And I do know she understands that she will be held accountable, like she will be, held accountable. And she brought that confidence still to the forum, because she didn't have to show up. She didn't have to show up.
She did.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
She did.
But you understand what I'm trying to say.
Like all it. So so I feel like every candidate, it's mandatory that they show up to these forums. Like it shouldn't be an option. And if it is an option, then to me that signals you're not really concerned about being upfront and open and being an open book for the citizens. You know what I mean? And that you don't necessarily care about your constituents. If you can just blow off a forum like that's beneath me, then you're part of the problem. So for those candidates that did show up, I can't necessarily applaud them, because that's what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You're supposed to show up to these forums so people can properly vet you, ask you questions to get an understanding of who you are, why you're running, what you stand for, your vision and plan for the city, so they can make an informed decision when they get to the polls. That's what's supposed to happen. So
Right. Yeah. So then with that, we look forward to opportunities to hear from Miss Ash and Miss Richardson at the forums that they will have or whatnot, or be privy to where we'll be in the audience to listen. So it's very important that leadership is already being demonstrated. It can't be something that you turn on in election season. And demonstration means like we have receipts. We have seen, know exactly what you're doing in the community. Right. Yeah.
And if you're just joining us, I've been asking this question all day, and I'm going to keep asking it. And the question is, why? Help us understand, why are the standards so low amongst our people in the African American community for some reason? Like, you can go to Chick-fil-A, hey, welcome to Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
What would you like today?
It's the standard of excellence.
But then you go to Wendy's, go ahead with your order. You know what I mean? Like, no, how you doing?
What you want?
No, none of that. Like, no professionalism, no great customer service skills. Like, all of that is out of the window. And I brought that up to say it's the same thing when it comes to some of the candidates who are running in certain areas. Like nobody is trying to hold them accountable and ask the hard questions and properly vet them to see if they're qualified.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I don't understand that. Being from Columbus, born and raised, south side of Columbus, Fort Benning Road, South Lumpkin Road, Torch Hill Road, Benning Drive, like, I just don't understand why the standards are so low and not much is expected. You know what I mean? How can you walk around your community and there be trash everywhere and it not bother you? But you claim to care about your community.
High grass, tires, all kinds of foolery,
Yeah, please answer that question
for us. And that's what I explained to Becca. As a citizen, I know how to get things done. We've had to do it as a small business owner in our area. Piles and stacks of tires, trash, you name it. It's a full-time job, as Miss Debbie said, staying on the city, back and forth to get things taken care of in our city. So when we ask an elected official that says they're a champion or they want to support small businesses, we're telling you, this is where we can't run our business, we can't live our day-to-day lives without having to do the city's job, right? And so what do I look like electing someone whose standards that are beneath mine? You don't care about grass, high grass. You don't care about trash. You don't care about tires. You will drive by, pass by. And that's what Kogel has done. Mm-hmm. She has drove down South Lumpkin Road to those association meetings. Mattress been on the road, on the side of the main road for more than 3 months. You got tires everywhere. You got high grass every month. And it takes a citizen to put you on the spot for you to actually care. I don't know who took care of the mattress, really.
Yeah.
But this is what I do know. Somebody asked me, did I report it? I have done my fair share. Mm-hmm. I know how to get things done. Mm-hmm. If you're running for office, if you're saying you want to, represent us, mm-hmm. you need to show us that you know how to get things done.
Right.
And it needs to get done. Period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's huge. That's another thing, like you said, that we're checking for. If these candidates know how to get things done, and there's a proven track record mm-hmm. that you can point to show us that you know how to get things done. Your standards can't be lower than ours as citizens. Well, what are we electing you for? Right. And that's a huge, huge question right there. Mm-hmm. That we need people that's going to inspire, be transformational, encourage, because there's apathy right now. People will pull up in a parking lot, unload their car, trash, what have you, in the parking lot and roll off. Yeah. We need people who are going to challenge that mindset, who are going to raise the standards and say, hey, this is not how we do business. Mm-hmm. And if you don't care about those little things that contribute to our community, mm-hmm. you're not it. Yeah. You're not it. Yeah. So, okay. So after District 7, it was... District 9, Dr. Van Doren. Okay, Dr. Van Doren. Yeah. So Dr. Van Doren, District 9, City at Large seat he's running for. His answers yesterday mm-hmm. were, knowledgeable. Mm-hmm. He was sincere. Mm-hmm. He had a clear plan and vision mm-hmm. that he could lay out easily for us to explain why he's running, what his platform is all about, mm-hmm. what his background is, which is he's an educator. Mm-hmm. And he's been around Columbus, I think now he said like maybe 17 years, mm-hmm. somewhere around there. But I understand and I believe that the guy is definitely qualified. He has mm-hmm. the experience, transferable skills mm-hmm. to sit in the seat and affect change right away. Yes. You know what I mean? And he had a clear-cut plan for what he wants to do if elected. Measured and grounded. Yeah. So I definitely think Dr. Van Doren should be a front runner in District 9, mm-hmm. Based off of what we learned yesterday about him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of the things that hit home that was communicated is that, the trust in city government is gone, right? We're confused with the current council. We don't trust them. Mm-hmm. And we got to believe that they have our best interest at heart. Right. And when we do not believe that, we can't trust them. And that's why a lot of them need to be replaced, mm-hmm. And other people given the opportunity to build and earn the trust of the citizens, because what we have seen has been foolery and confusion. So these candidates that we had the opportunity to interview and ask questions, mm-hmm. And everybody in the audience was given an opportunity to ask questions. They did a great job overall of answering those questions overall, with some exceptions. I agree. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Dr. Van Doren, he did a great job. And make sure you guys are looking him up. And if you know anything about him, please put it in the comment section. Mm-hmm. If you have any experience with him, if you know anything about his background. Mm-hmm. But he's knowledgeable. He talked about the city budget. He talked about economic development. Mm-hmm. And some questions we didn't ask him, but we know that he's right. We know that he's knowledgeable because he's talking about the same things that we're talking about mm-hmm. when it comes to those that are already on city council, right? Who are part of the problem. And he's not afraid to address it. Like we asked him, like, how do you address, council members mm-hmm. who, they're either disrespectful to citizens or, they're not
doing what they're supposed to do, he said he'd have an offline conversation with them,
Yeah.
because you're making us all look bad.
Right.
And that's the consensus. That's how I feel about when they allow one to just get away with foolery up there, they all look bad. And I don't think they understand
Well,
that.
it's more than one. That's
Yeah.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's 6 of them.
Yeah.
Who are causing a major problem in our city.
Yeah.
A major divide in our city, and they're a major cancer.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
spreading throughout our city. So
Absolutely.
yeah, they got to go. They have got to go.
Yep. And so that last one was Mr. Kelly.
Yes, the only mayoral candidate that showed up, and we do understand. We reached out to a few of them. They couldn't make it for whatever reason.
Well, listen.
But yeah,
the
he
only
did show
person
up.
that could not make it was Mr. Hughley because he had an event.
Okay.
The Dr. Bryant was not coming.
Okay. She did respond.
Kogel, right,
yeah.
was not coming.
Not at all.
And then, we got the new people. What's his name?
Chris
yeah,
Briall.
Briall. He didn't know about it. Who's the other one? LaJoy. He was not coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep. So if you know anything about Chris Briall, he was the last person to qualify for mayor. Put in the comment section of what you think. Is he a strong candidate? Do you guys think he might be a good fit? Do you think he's mayor material?
Who is this?
Mr. Briall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing what he has to say and what he's going to do for the city and his plan. Yeah.
And then it says Branson Wright ran for House of Rep District 39 in 2014. That must be the new candidate for District 9. Mr. Wright?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. And so if you have his, if he's launched his website, his social media handles or whatnot, if you would drop those in the comments so we can check him out, because we have no idea who he is. We know he's entered and qualified for the race for District 9, but we have no clue who he is, and we're looking forward to learning more about him. But back to Mr. Kelly, how you think he did with answering the questions?
Oh man, so Mr. Kelly, he had a hard time. Mr. Steve Kelly, he had a hard time. He could not explain his plan for the city. He could not explain his vision for the city, and he could not explain what his plan is to move the city forward. And it was simple questions about, what is your plan? And he couldn't answer that. So that was an issue for us.
And it was obvious because, we had people in the audience saying, hey, you're going all around the question. You haven't answered the question.
Yeah.
So my suggestion is you take the feedback from what happened here, because the forums that you go to, that's going to be at the chamber with the citizens. It's going to be a whole lot of people in the audience. There's going to be a whole lot of people asking you questions. And, in my opinion, you should have already withdrawn and had several seats and, prepared in another way if you want to run later. But if you're going to continue, because $1,900 is a lot of money to invest, I can't understand why people would waste money in that way. Make sure that you are prepared to answer mayoral questions. The chief executive officer, the highest office in the city. It's not about attacking other candidates, but it's about being able to answer the questions that you're going to be asked in a way that people will understand and gain clarity from. And so that was a concern. As the mayor, when you're asked specific questions, he kept saying, thank you for leading me, or thank you for what have you. I shouldn't have to lead you. If you're running for mayor, I shouldn't have to guide or lead or try to pull out your answers. You did better at the forum with the other one I was at, than you did with this. But in the same sense, you were given questions, you had your cards, you didn't bring any cards with you, you didn't bring any notes. So if that's what it takes in order for you to be able to answer your questions or what have you, and and be coherent
Mm-hmm.
in what you want to say, then you need to do that. As the mayor, the chief executive officer, you know, the consulting, there were 6 out of 11 areas that were considered critical.
Mm-hmm.
While everybody wants to blame that on one person, the mayor is responsible for that. The city council is responsible for that. As the mayor, you know, what's your role? How do you fix it? Why isn't there been a plan laid out to the people to say this is what we're doing? Those were the types of questions that were asked because, you know, you're the chief person, and it was kind of tough for him to answer those questions.
Yeah, and what I want to see, what I wanted to hear was, you know, there's no perfect answers. Like, I feel like certain candidates are trying to give the perfect answer.
Right.
Listen, what is your plan?
Right.
You know, explain to us what your vision and plan is for the city. And if you can't explain that clearly, concisely, you don't have a real plan.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, there's no perfect choices.
And you can't come out nervous. You can't come out.
You can, like, that's not an issue for me.
Well,
you know,
you
can, but you need to be able to, you know, you got to be able to perform under pressure.
We don't want to see the nerves. You shouldn't be shaking and all kinds of things like that.
I agree.
At this point, you know, you have to bring confidence. If you're going to lead us, you have to bring confidence to the table.
Listen.
So you shouldn't be shaking, you know, mumbling and trying to get things out at this point. Especially he's been on the campaign trail since last year for a good while now. So this stuff should be second knowledge to him at this point.
And, you know, when we talk about leadership, I think about people like Michael Jordan. I think about people like President Barack Obama. You have to be able to perform under pressure.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the only way that you perform under pressure is being prepared. That's the only way. Improving leadership, you're prepared. Consistency, you've been doing this for a while. This is familiar to you. So there's no pressure. You got to be able to perform under pressure.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And pull
again,
from your leadership experience.
Pull from your experience. Answer the questions clearly so that your citizen fellows or constituents can understand. Like, nobody should have to ask you 3 and 4 times the same question so they can get an understanding of what your plan is.
Right.
Like,
and nobody should feel like you have danced around and you're not answering the questions specifically. And so people were able to see that.
Yeah.
And then we had a lady in the audience who said they were looking for a conservative business person.
Well, they said
the candidate should be.
They said being the mayor and running the city is like running a business. Is what she said.
But she said they need to be a conservative business person.
Well,
what have you, right? And I
mean, that's her opinion.
Yeah, right. And so I'm saying that to say that, you know, instead of him just taking that, he started explaining that he was a
Libertarian, which is fine. You know what I mean?
Listen, but you know, don't waste time on that. Don't waste time on going back on forth and this, that, and the third. You know, have your language, have your core things that you're going to do, have your plan, and be able to communicate it. Period.
Yeah. So I think that's great advice for the candidates to in these forums. Make sure you're prepared.
Yeah.
You know, make sure you're knowledgeable, because if you come off as you don't know what you're talking about, how can people trust that you're going to know how to get on city council or run for mayor and push the city in the right direction?
Right.
So you got to be knowledgeable.
Data centers is a concern right now. We asked specifically, you know, are you going to make your own decision, vote with council, or are you going to make decisions based on what your constituents say, and what does that process look like? And I think most of the candidates did a great job of explaining what the process would look like for them to make decisions, you know, pros, cons, constituents, and then their skills applied. And that's great. We want people that's going to listen to the public, you know?
Yeah.
And not just be up there, I, and what I want, like Mr. Davis does.
Yeah, big I's and little U's, as they say.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much how the forum went, you know. And again, the forum was not for us. Yeah, we were the hosts and the moderators, but the forum is not for us. The forum is an opportunity for the city to come out every chance they get and learn so they can make, you know, better informed decisions when they get to the polls.
Yeah.
So we can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
Every chance you get to one of these forums to get to know a candidate better, yeah, you got to be in the room.
Right.
You got to be in the room.
So you can make an informed decision.
Right.
And we don't want you guessing when you get in there. You don't know the names. You don't know what they stand for. You don't know what they bring to the table.
Right.
It's so important that you have plenty of time to do your work before April 27th when early voting starts.
Yeah, and make sure you bring somebody with you, a friend, a family member, multiple people with you to these forums. So, you know, the more people that are informed, the better.
Right, right. So our last situation we need to talk about is the Senate District 15 and the state District 140.
Yeah.
Interesting happenings here. Okay. So we know that currently Teddy Reese is the state rep for District 140, but Mr. Harbison currently has stated that he's not going to run for re-election.
Yeah, he's incumbent
for the Senate, which is District 15. And so Mr. Teddy Reese pulled his state re-election to move up to Senate, which he's been in the seat for 140. I think that's a good move. He's built some momentum. He's built some experience. Transitioning up is good. The concern is, for me, is that if he does not win, he's out of a seat, period.
Yeah, I'll let you.
Oh, okay. You
land your plane. Yeah, go ahead.
He's out of a seat, period. And so Mr. Harbison has endorsed his son. His son has his last name.
Right.
That comes with the perks of, you know, whatever's going to come with that, votes, support, things of that nature. I don't know his son. I have no idea what he's done in government up until this point. I need to do some research and follow up next Sunday and kind of bring some of that to the table. But it's going to be an interesting race. And in addition to Mr. Reese, you have Nia Williams, who is running for Senate as well.
Yes.
And so we know that she's ran for District 140 before, state rep. So it's just going to be an interesting race. I need to do my research on the Harbison young man and Nia. And of course, we already know Teddy Reese has been a state rep already, and kind of see, you know, analyze and see what's what with that situation. But what do you all think?
Yeah.
Does the Harbison son automatically get the go in this situation because he has the name and it comes with the territory of the perks and the support? Or are these other two candidates, are they, you know, in it to win it and probably can win? Yes,
it's going to be interesting. But as we get more research and do our due diligence, you know, we'll come back and give our take on who we think and how we think it's going to go.
Right.
As far as Nia, we know Nia.
No.
And, well, we know of her.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And we're still trying to get to know her.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yeah, she did run for District 140.
She said, Harper, who these people?
Last election against Teddy Reese. And Teddy Reese, of course, was the winner. But now she's running for a different seat. So
yeah, find their pages, follow them.
Yeah, we got more research to do. Yeah. We got more information to get on her platform because we haven't seen her in a forum yet. But she is on social media. So, you know, look her up, do your due diligence. We're going to do ours, and then we'll come back around and give you our honest feedback.
I do know that we've done an interview with her before when she was running for state rep. I do know she's knowledgeable. I do know that, you know, she's a competitive candidate, but I still need to learn more to make an informed decision. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll circle the block, as they say. Yes.
And come back around.
Yes, and then District 140, the state rep, you know, Mr. Averett chucked the deuces for District 7.
Yes.
And moved up to that race for District 140. And so that covers Crawford County, Monroe County, Peach County, Bibb, Houston, like cities like Macon, Warner Robins, and some parts of Columbus, Georgia. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, because this young man, I don't know, I know he is a part of Columbus. I know he's done protests in Columbus.
Right.
I know he's got multiple charges and things of that nature. But what has he actually done in the past 3 years in anybody's community, besides what his mom has opened a daycare on District 7 and wherever it was prior to that? Like, what has he actually done, boots on the ground, in the communities? What initiatives, what has he done? That, put it in the comments, please. Let me know, what has he been effective in accomplishing as a city advocate, as whatever he is calling himself. I don't care what campaigns you've worked on. I don't care who you rub shoulders with. That does not equate to leadership skill and ability. And so District 7, again, just like everybody else, we have a business and we sit on the corner. We keep our business clean, but we don't just stop right there. We walk up and down those streets and we pick up trash. So if you're in your community and you're a leader and you're passing by stuff that needs to be taken care of and you're not taking care of it, like, I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I have a problem with you having blinders on, but then you want to run in an elected seat and want to represent the people.
Yeah.
Well, you've had ample opportunity and time to represent people on a day-to-day basis. So please put in the comments, what has he actually done in District 7? He's ran before in District 4 against Ms. Pugh.
Right.
What did he do then besides make a lot of noise?
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see. But make sure you guys are, doing your due diligence. Make sure you guys are showing up to these forums. Make sure you guys are checking these candidates' pages, checking their backgrounds, asking the right questions, asking tough questions, so you can figure out, who's serious, who's not, who's qualified, who's not, to run the city and move the city forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, to go back to what you said about picking up trash, keeping your community clean, essentially doing your part. You know what I mean?
Your social footprint.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can't claim to care. Actions speak louder than words. Everybody knows that. So you can't claim to care about your community or city, but neglecting it at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, so.
And a
that's what we're running
leader,
into.
a leader just, their vibe is different. They can't pass by stuff and not fix it or not have a solution for it. You're an average citizen if you do that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You're not elected material. You're not representing people material if you can do that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So, yeah, we got to do our part. We talked about this earlier. We got to do our part, as citizens. But especially if you're claiming to be, if you're running for office, and you're claiming that you are a leader and you want to help lead the city in either the district or as a mayor, there has to be proof has to be in the pudding. You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
That's what I would say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's time out for grandstanding, as we've been seeing.
Right.
That's what's going on.
A whole lot of it
with the city council.
Yeah.
Division. And the list goes on.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention, then you already know what's going on in Columbus.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. And so accountability is important.
Yes.
It's, I don't care, I have the ability, we have the ability. You grew up in Columbus, so even with knowing people or what have you, you still are objective to, perspective. And I know that you wouldn't support somebody just because they're black, or you wouldn't support somebody just because you grew up with them and you know them. And I'm not from Columbus, and I have that objective perspective from the outside looking in. And, the fact is the fact, right is right, wrong is wrong. Principles, rules, regulations, policies, what have you, across the board, it is what it is. And so either you are in alignment with it or you aren't. What you don't do is get upset. You get right. You get your life together. You work hard. They said diamonds are made in pressure, right?
Yeah.
So, You know, if people are calling you out, or if they are saying things that you can do to improve, do it. If you really care about your community, if you really care about showing up as the best version of yourself to support the community, to represent the community, do it.
Yeah. And, you know, we're paying attention, as should everybody be.
People are paying attention.
Folks got it. I mean, that's the only way things are going to change. And that's the only way the message is going to get out to people who are running, to help them understand, too, that folks are watching you.
Yeah.
So with that being said, of course, after election season is over, we're going to pay attention to see, are you still in the community?
Listen, we already been paying attention.
Do you still care?
And folks,
listen, and people got to pay attention to that. They got to pay attention to when the lights are off, and the music is off. Where do these candidates go? You know, are they still showing up?
The leader needs to clean their own front porch. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yep. That's a lot.
Yeah, well, a lot has happened over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to this upcoming election. It's pivotal, of course. We already talked about that. Voter registration deadlines. We talked about this in the beginning, but April 20th is the date. Voter registration, that's the deadline, April 20th, 2026. Advanced voting starts April 27th, 2026. Advanced voting ends May 15th? May 15th. So make sure, you know, that you're checking the dates and making sure that you get these things done, get to the polls.
Yes.
So that you can early vote. You don't want to have to deal with lines or wait till the last minute.
Right.
Absentee ballot request starts, the first day is March 2nd, which is already passed.
Right.
So you need to send in your absentee ballot. You know, go ahead and get that in. The last day is May 6th or May 8th. May 8th.
May
8th. It's the last day that you can send in your absentee ballot. You definitely don't want to wait till the last minute. We already know voter suppression is real.
Yep.
We already know that there's voters being
Columbus.
challenged. So, listen, make sure your I's are dotted, your T's are crossed.
Right.
But yeah, the first day to issue mail ballots is April 20th. So, yeah, we're just giving y'all the information to make sure everybody's informed, so you know what dates and what you need to do and how much time you have, so that you can, you know, be prepared.
There's no excuse not to vote in this election.
Yeah.
There is no excuse not to make sure you're registered, and there's no excuse not to be informed for this election.
Yeah.
And everybody has to share. Everybody has to talk. Everybody has to discuss. You know, what's going on in our communities and our candidates, you know, that are really for the people. Yep.
We don't need a runoff.
We don't.
We definitely don't need a runoff in the mayoral race. We can't afford a runoff.
We want a strong win.
Yeah.
Because people are betting on folks not coming back in June to vote again.
Yeah.
People are betting on that, you know?
Yeah.
And so a clear win speaks loud and strong.
Yeah, and there's a reason why there's a bunch of mayoral candidates, and I feel like some of them are just to split the vote to make it easier for certain candidates. So it's unfortunate, but I understand it too.
Yeah.
But folks got to get out and vote.
Right.
So what did we forget? Put in the comment section. What did we forget? What did we get wrong? What did we get right? What else do we need to cover before we?
I think that's it, honey.
Call it a night.
We missed some comments, but I think that's it. This is. Let's see. Go back here. Let's see.
That's a lot to read.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for taking the time to discuss the forum and for highlighting the importance of strong leadership for District 3. I'll be the first to say that leadership is about listening, learning, and showing up for the people you want to serve. That's exactly why I attend city council meetings, data center discussions, and community forums. I believe the best way to understand our city government is to be present, ask questions, and stay engaged with issues affecting our community. While no candidate knows everything on day one, what matters most is the willingness to learn, the heart to serve, and the commitment to represent the people with integrity. My military background, my work in the community, and my accessibility to residents are all part of how I lead. I appreciate the conversation and welcome continued dialogue as we work towards a stronger District 3. All right, Miss Erin. Let's see, Mr. George, she kept sharing she has a relationship with the city, various departments. I was not impressed. She definitely has a hidden agenda. I don't care nothing about them unsafe walking trails. Again, this is my opinion. All right, Miss Debbie. Listen, and there's always wisdom in what people have to say. Like, we don't discount, especially when it comes from people who have lived, longer than we have on this earth. We take in that wisdom.
Right.
Let's see. I love that we have different opinions about the candidates. She better get in them South Side streets. That's right, Mr. Hampton. And she went to the Liberty Theater 5K run. Yeah. Right?
Put in the comment section if y'all participated in the 5K run.
She was right there in the middle with her puppy. Mm-hmm. And so she comes across that she doesn't feel uncomfortable or awkward in the presence of Black people. Kogel, on the other hand, it's a whole different situation. Well, yeah.
And listen, we're going to discuss the Liberty. Listen, that's a conversation that needs to be had. What's going on with the Liberty Theater? Older people know the history of the Liberty. So a lot of people our age and younger don't know the history of the Liberty, but we need to have that discussion because it's heartbreaking to see what's going on with the Liberty.
Right. Okay. I said the same thing, bro. She did have to show up. Talking about Becca.
And she acknowledged that too. She did acknowledge that. Yeah. I mean, people don't know her. Yeah. And they don't know her, especially if she doesn't look like them. They're like, why should we trust her? Yeah. And that was a question we asked her. Why should people trust you and they haven't seen you? There's already a preconceived notion of you don't care about that certain community. You're just showing up because you're running for office. Right. And she answered the question and she acknowledged that, hey, she got to be in there.
She spoke to pandering and she spoke to that she's coming to places that she's only been invited to. Yeah. Like she's aware of all of the stereotypes, the dynamics, the things that's going on in the community because she knows she hasn't been a part of the community. And I can appreciate that honesty.
So we'll see. We'll see.
She definitely needs to connect with her constituents. She can walk those trails with the voters. Oh man. Let's see. She stated she was not going to the churches unless she was invited. Newsflash, the churches are the only places she is going to see her District 7 constituents. You're right. But there's business owners and people like that she needs to get out there and see too. I totally agree. He is definitely a leader that we need in Columbus. Okay. Let's see. Branson Wright ran for House. We read that one. Okay. He did not answer not one question. She talked about Mr. Kelly. He was determined to not connect himself with Democrats, Republicans, or independent. Right. He said he was a libertarian. I appreciate his history again. He did not answer any of the questions. Okay. Let's see.
And shout out to the people who showed up, the citizens. Clarissa Beard was there. Reverend Jesse was there.
Yes.
Of course, Miss Debbie was there.
Miss Debbie was there. Yeah. Desiree Johnson was there. And then also we had a random visitor. She came in. Yeah. Yeah, like she was hot and ready to see some folks. Yeah. She had a notebook. She was taking pen, paper, and notes and things. Okay. A leader needs to clean their own front porch. Absolutely. What are your opinions on debates? Let's see. We need to reach out to our veterans. Yes. And citizens don't show up for runoffs. Yeah, that's what we've heard.
That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Yes. And so, with the debates, it allows you to think quick on your feet. It allows us to see what you know. It allows us to see how you're going to respond under pressure, things of that nature. And so some of the candidates that we've already, encountered, they're ready for this. Yeah. They are measured, grounded, knowledgeable. It's like the back of their hand. They are ready. And preparation, you either prepare to win or you prepare to fail. And we can tell We can tell.
Yeah.
We can tell.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's why these forums are so important.
Yeah.
Folks got to show up though.
Oh, and in the school board, we did have district at large 9 seat. Dr. Kia Chambers show up, and we were able to ask her some questions and discuss her vision for that position.
Right.
And you know, she did a great job explaining, you know, what she didn't have to explain. We can see in the community that she has demonstrated leadership, and she's out in the community doing great things. But she was able to break down make some understandings about, you know, background on how decisions are made, which clarified some things, you know, for us. And
she also laid out, you know, her passion, how she got into, you know, why she ran for school board, why she's running, and what her vision is for the city as far as school board is concerned. And she gave us some nuggets on how things are decided as far as the school board. So yeah, we appreciate it.
Which was very insightful. And knowing that she started right there at Hannon, she does have an education background, so she has a place of experience to withdraw from to contribute to the city council, which is, I think, more than I can say for many of the candidates that are on that board. I don't think many of them have education background. Yeah. Ooh, wait, honey. It's been a long one tonight.
Well, it had to be, though. It had to be, because so much has happened.
Oh, my goodness.
And so much is happening. Yeah, we had to be on
Dr.
a little longer.
Kia Chambers was very knowledgeable. Yes,
she was. She was, and she is.
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, put in the comment section your questions, your concerns, so we can, you know, go out, hit the streets, and ask more questions, and get more information, so then we can come back and share it with y'all.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to endorsing candidates for this election.
Yeah.
You know, and with that, we're in a prime location for signs and things to go up. We will not have any signs that we do not endorse on the property, but we're looking forward to supporting candidates in that way, and then also getting out into the community and sharing the information that we've learned to help support candidates. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I can't support a candidate who's not putting in the effort and the work that they need to put in. And I've already communicated that to a couple of candidates. Like, I need to know, because I've worked on campaigns before. You can't work harder than the person, or want it more than the person that's running.
Right.
And so that needs to be demonstrated up front, that you're in it to win it, in order for me to take any of my time to be out there campaigning and helping and supporting. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about that?
Well, it's a great question. Glad you asked that. So for me, I need to know that you know exactly what you're talking about. I need to know that you're knowledgeable about current things that are already happening with city government, like, you know, public safety, what's the latest ordinance that was passed, the issue that's going on with this new jail, different sides of town that are being neglected, and what you've already done. So for me, that's what I'm looking for. Somebody that's knowledgeable, somebody that has a actual vision for the city and can explain clearly what their vision is, somebody who can tell us what they've already done, and somebody who understands city government.
Right.
Like, so those are the things for me. City government, knowledge, proven leadership, emotional intelligence, and somebody who I feel like I can trust.
Right. And you need to be running this campaign and in it to win it. That's all I'm trying to say. People are counting. We are counting on change in this election.
Yeah.
There are districts who really require new leadership, and you cannot come across as lackadaisical, nonchalant, and not with a plan in place. I even if I want you to win, I'm not getting out and supporting no foolery like that.
Right.
And that's just how I feel about it. If I need you to win, especially in District 5, but if you're at the top not setting a tone and showing that you are in it to win it, what's the point?
Well, and that's why I keep saying about candidates who show up at the last minute. Like, where were you 6 months ago?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, this is not something that you can just do overnight.
Right.
If you're serious and intentional about winning.
Right.
Yeah, I need to know that you're serious, and I know that you're serious by you've been doing the work, you've been putting in the effort, you've been in the streets, you've been doing forums, you've been letting people know who you are, what you stand for.
Well, that's another point, because Mr. Huff said at the meeting, he told Dr. Golden in December that he was not seeking re-election. He didn't announce it until this year sometime, and he didn't start preparing until this year sometime, but he already knew. So.
Well, and that's the issue. Like,
yeah.
And that's what's happening with a few candidates who just all of a sudden, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. How serious are you?
Yeah, we're not here for it. Not here for it. Not here for it.
Versus candidates who declared as soon as they could declare, you know what I mean, and come out and say that they were running, they did.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't wait until qualifying time.
Right.
To say, hey, I'm running.
Okay.
Yeah, so that speaks volumes to me, and that's something that, I look at.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, honey, you gonna land our plane, or you want me to read these?
You can read them before we.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know it was gonna be that much.
Okay. From Miss Erin, just want to mention a few points of privilege. I heard a few comments about experience in city government, and I think it's important to clarify what leadership experience really looks like. Here's a brief resume. Chairman of the Land and Bank Board, helping guide redevelopment and housing opportunities in our community. Chair of JAG Promises, a support community for mothers who have lost children to gun violence, while also creating events and programs for youth aimed at preventing violence before it starts. Committee member with the U-Teen Impact Society, supporting youth mentorship and development. Member of the 706 Columbus Committee, supporting community growth and engagement. Business and nonprofit leader, managing programs generating over $1 million in annual revenue. Responsible for budgeting, operations, compliance, and strategic planning. Leader of a team of more than 25 staff members. Founder and organizer of Rock and Roses Hair and Barber Battle for 12 years, supporting local barbers, stylists, and small businesses. U.S. Army veteran with a commitment to service and leadership. Regularly attending city council meetings, community forums, and data center discussions to stay informed and engaged on the issues affecting our city. Leadership is about service, accountability, and the willingness to show up, listen, and learn. That is the experience I bring to District 3. Continue your great work. I enjoyed tonight's conversation. And then Miss Debbie, Sherry, I am not in your district. Please feel free to place your sign on my property. I love your energy. You have the potential to be a better leader if given the opportunity. Let's see. Thank you. All right. Very good. All right. So, new people meeting new people.
Yeah.
Right? Great conversation. Critical thinking, opportunities to learn, things of that nature. And that's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. Sifted through the weeds and the foolery. Yeah. Having those conversations that, some people want to have privately, we need to have publicly, because publicly is what people are representing. They're not representing private. They're representing publicly. Everybody. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, honey. So, you gonna land our plane?
Yeah, I'm gonna land it. Yeah, and that's what the discussion is all about.
Yeah.
We don't know it all, but we like to ask the right questions. We like to do our due diligence, and we like to, properly vet the candidates.
Yeah.
To give us a better understanding of what they bring to the table and why they're the best person for the job. That's all.
Right. And this gives you an opportunity to listen and hear and understand, and be strategical in how you move forward. Because it's good stuff.
Yeah. So we're going to be back here next Sunday, same channel.
Yeah, we
same
had some
time.
good discussion like for next Sunday.
Yeah,
too.
y'all don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Y'all don't want to miss it. And make sure you're sharing this. Make sure you're giving us a thumbs up if you find value in the content that we create. You know what I mean? This is something we're passionate about. We care about the community.
Yeah.
We care about what's going on in the city and what it's looking like and what it's supposed to look like.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
right.
yeah, we appreciate everybody who chimed in. We appreciate every comment. We appreciate everybody who showed up to the forum to ask a question, to be a part of the process. And that's what it's all about for us.
Right.
Make sure that you are sharing this with your friends and your family and continue the discussion. Don't just let it stop here. You know, that's what we try to do. We try to continue the discussion with everybody so that we can do a better job in the city
Right.
for the citizens and help those who are running, you know, be better.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, again, we appreciate y'all. Peace and love. Make sure y'all come back next weekend. We're going to have a great discussion.
We got some good stuff to
talk
about.
Yeah, we do. We don't want to let the cat out of the bag yet, but yeah, you got to be here to definitely see what we're going to talk about. So thank y'all again. Peace and love. We'll see y'all in the community. We'll see y'all at these forums.
Listen, candidates, we are counting on y'all. You know, we are counting on y'all.
Do the work.
Yes, please.
Yeah, do the work.
We want fresh faces in the city council. District 5, District 1, District 7, District 9. Did I miss one?
District 3.
District 3. Yeah. Yes, we want fresh face, fresh leadership, people who are going to work for the citizens. So please, please, please. Again, we're in a great location for us to put signs and endorse people. But if you're not doing the work and if you're not passionate, and if we can't see that, we can't endorse that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So and we are going to upload the clips from the forum that we did yesterday.
Yes.
So make sure y'all stay tuned for
I'm
those.
sliding on out. This has been a long session.
Yeah.
Hey, bye y'all.
Yeah. Peace and love.